Can't cross over troubled waters cause I'm targeted.
A verbal assassin when I'm blasting.
Strictly head crushing, lead rushing through your bot. Can't cross over troubled waters cause I'm targeted.
A verbal assassin when I'm blasting.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to the BDA Boxing Podcast, broadcasting to you live from the true north. This is your friend, Mr. BDA. What a fight. Okay, hold on, because I'm trying to do a whole bunch of things at the same time here, so I wanted to get back on the air as soon as possible. By the way, can you guys read the chat properly, or is it too light? The font, I mean. Let me know. Oh, shit. Hold on a second. Yeah, I had to jump on here quickly. All right, hold on. Before we continue, shout out to everybody in the chat room. If you want to donate a couple of shekels, you can do so via the Super Chat, Patreon. The most important thing is that you continue to contribute by subscribing to the show. Oh, there you go. Subscribing to the show, hitting that thumbs up, spreading the BDA gospel. Guys, thank you for joining us. Let me just give a quick shout out to everybody in the chat room. I see it's already moving fast. All right, hold on a second. Shout out to Guerrero de la Info, OG Boogie, Pete, Uncle Pete, Double A, Richie, Guerrero de la Info, Nes Mendoza. Shout out to Nes Mendoza, Keith Paulin, Guerrero de la Info, Shelton Film Productions, Paper Tiger, English Guy, Mr. E, The Real Pack, Revolucion, Intelligence, Marky EU, Brandon White, who hasn't been here. He says, ready to hear the excuses now. So this is the type of guy that only shows up when Loma loses, or when a guy he doesn't like loses. All right, I got you, Brandon. Iceman, Keith Polin, Luke Peterson. Oh, okay, hold on. I got Gonzalo on the line. Gonzalo, I had to start this stream real quick, so give me 2 seconds here. Shout out to Luke Peterson, who says, D. Jefferson owed some respect after this. Yeah, he was one of the few who picked Lopez around here. Shout out to D. I sent him an invite, see if he shows up. Shout out to Virtuoso, who just donated the super chat as well. He says, well, Teofimo shocked the world. Brooklyn, stand up. I thought he was from Philadelphia. Am I confusing him with, what's his name? Danny Garcia. Anyway, shout out to everybody in the chat room. Guys, tell me if the chat room is too light. Can you read it properly, or should I change the color of the names? Because I just realized they're blue, light blue. Anyway, let's get to the fight. First of all, Gonzalo, give me your assessment of what went on in the ring.
Can you hear me? I noticed my connection is lagging a little bit. Am I coming in clear?
I can hear you, yes.
Yeah, it was, man, weight classes make difference. Although they were fighting at the 35, Lomachenko, he's a little smaller compared to Teofimo. It's kind of like one of those things, when you hit a punching bag and it's a small one, you can shake it up. But when it's a bigger one, you can't really move it that easy. It's like that. When Lomachenko was punching Teofimo, he couldn't really move him that easy. So he realized he was in there against a stronger guy. Now, uncharacteristically of Loma, he wasn't going to the body as much. And I'm thinking it was because of the lead subtle uppercut that Teofimo throws. He was hesitant to go to the body with that left hand because that opening is there for that right uppercut. Right, for that left uppercut, I'm sorry, from Teofimo Lopez, that lead hand. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it was a strategical fight, and Teofimo gave away, and Lomachenko, he gave away a lot of the early rounds. So it was clear that, yeah, he was dealing with something that, he was having to be a little bit more cautious. It was a good, solid performance from Teofimo, and I watched it in Spanish, actually, because I was thinking if I watch it in English, these guys are gonna be more biased towards because they're accompaniment. So I watched it in Spanish, but actually Marcus had it to where Lomachenko won.
What?
He called it a travesty. Yeah, he
Well,
called it
okay,
a
well,
travesty.
wait. Juan Manuel Marquez, you're talking about, or Raul Marquez?
Juan Manuel Marquez.
Okay, look,
Yes.
I'll give you my
He had
assessment of. I'll give you my
okay.
assessment of the fight. I thought it was a close fight, man. I did not see Lopez sweeping the first 6 rounds as most people, as the commenters were saying. But neither was Loma doing much. He was mostly on the defensive. He was doing a good job of blocking shots upstairs. But when it came to those downstairs, he wasn't doing much. Now, he was landing a couple of jabs here and there, but that was it. He played it too close to the vest. He thought that he was going to be able to wear Lopez down. And he was about to. The most impressive thing to me about Lopez from this fight was the last round. Because Lomachenko was banking on getting those late rounds, and Lopez just dug deep in that 12th round and just sheer strength, just moving Lomachenko. Lomachenko tried to get in there, and Lopez said no. Now, the scorecards were a little bit too wide, but I can understand why they were that wide. I mean, if you're Loma and you're running around the ring, you're giving up the benefit of the doubt for a lot of those judges. I see we got Precise on the line. Precise, are you there?
Yes. For me?
Very low again. Hold on, let me boost your volume. Oh, it's already boosted up. Yeah, go ahead.
How about now?
Good, yeah.
Man, what are we talking about?
Well, were you surprised at Lomachenko's plan of, trying to tire, what's his name, Lopez out by making him miss and then trying to come in late and putting it on late?
I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised by Loma's plan, but I was very much impressed with the combination of speed and power and skill and Lopez's game plan. I was very much by that. And I was a little bit disappointed that Loma left it a little too late, but I give credit to Lopez for Loma was afraid of getting knocked out in the very first. He was very afraid of getting knocked out. And even though he wasn't getting hit very cleanly, he felt those body shots, I thought. Lopez dictated to him. I was very surprised that Lopez is obvious. You heard my prediction.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to eat my crow, lay it on me.
Well, I mean, look, it was a tight fight, man. If the people that picked Lopez, most of them did it by stoppage. I don't think they even believed that Lopez could win a decision. Now, Gonzalo, remember when we were talking about that specific point where most people were saying either Loma decision or Lopez knockout, and we were saying, well, how can Lopez win a decision? And we were saying, well, maybe if he shocks Lomachenko and prevents him from coming in. And that's exactly what happened. We should have gone with that pick, Gonzalo. We fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, it's like freaking Theo did a good job, and yeah, I think he was really afraid to getting countered with that lead hand. And you know what? I think that Teofimo realized he could take Lomachenko's firepower in the beginning, and he kept it tight. He kept it simple. He kept it subtle. His attacks were just like, he didn't try to go all out swinging for the fences. And just by doing that, the size alone that he brought in was able to prove to Lomachenko that I could keep fighting like this, the way I'm supposed to, without risking a whole lot. I mean, I'm talking about Teofimo Lopez. And that was enough because he was facing a smaller guy. And you know what? Like you were mentioning, like in the latter rounds, that Teofimo was still to battle back and against Lomachenko's late rally. I'm surprised because, also in the 11th round, Lomachenko was winning the round, but close to the end, Teofimo kept true to the body punching and landed 2 really hard shots that kind of like wilted Lomachenko's advances. And even though he still continued to do good in the last, Theo still fired back and established his control, as Precise was saying. Yeah, he controlled the fight.
Yeah, man, because he looked like he was about to wilt in the 11th. And I said, oh boy, he abandoned the body. I said, he needs to go back to the body. And then in the 12th, he dug deep. You could tell he was tired, but he just let his hands go. That's a lesson for young fighters out there. If you got power and you got hand speed, let your hands go. No ifs and buts about it. Also, shout out to Rodnell, who just donated for the super chat. He says, I need y'all to say Lopez outboxed Loma. Well, he won the decision. I wouldn't say he outboxed him. I mean, the way he means it. But yeah, I mean, shout out to Teofimo. He did what he had to win that fight. And by the way, Rod Nail is saying he won 1,600 buckaroos by betting. Whoa. Congratulations, man. That was a bold bet. Well, actually, depending on, I don't know if he picked the decision or not, or if he went with the knockout. Just to recapitulate here, fellas, Tim Chithium, I don't know how you spell his name, had a 116-112 for Lopez, obviously. Letterman had it, Julie Letterman had a 119-109. That's very wide. And Steve Weisfeld had a 117-111 for Lopez. So I didn't see it that wide. Yeah, go ahead.
You know, the right guy got the decision, but they really disrespected Loma with those cards. That was very disrespectful. It's a little bit disappointing because, you know, I'm not saying they should give him all the benefits of the doubt, but like he is the guy that like put it all on the line. He's the one that collected most of the belts, and not taking anything away from Teofimo. He clearly won this fight, no doubt about it. But man, they really disrespected. That was very disappointing to.
Yeah, but you know what? That's boxing, man. I mean, it's a hard. We get jaded after a while, and we get away with it and say, yeah, no, that's the way. But you know when I'm not surprised though, because Lomachenko really wasn't doing much. He was backing up a lot, and he was landing jabs, but you can't do that in fucking Vegas, man. Even if there's no crowd or whatever, you can't. And here's the other thing: it's what I call the woo factor.
If you're Floyd, you can.
Well, we're not gonna get into that.
Come on, BDA. If you're Floyd, you can do that.
Yeah. If you get the right connection, if you get the complexion to make the connection, like Don King used to say. But look, Lopez has that woo factor. I've talked about it before. He's got that when he throws shots, he goes pss, pss, and when they land, they leave a thudding. Just that alone. If you're backing up and you're blocking shots, but the other guy's is throwing those snappy shots, landing on the elbows, okay, in the hands a little bit, but to the body as well. Lopez went to the body early on. He's taking the rounds. Now, again, Lomachenko landed a jab here or there, snapping his head back, but when you got the woo factor, it's kind of hard to get away from that.
He dictated the pace of the fight. He dictated to Loma. He won the fight, but whatever. I'm not going to complain about the cards, but because we've seen it so many times, but it just goes to show you how it's upsetting because, all these guys that put in all the hard work, in the end, they always keep getting fucked, whether it's Golovkin, Lomachenko. But he lost it. It is what it is. He lost it.
Yeah, he lost the fight. Hold on a second. All right. Okay, because I'm checking the phone lines here. A lot of people have a lot to say. So let's go through these ones real quick. And, okay, let's go to the phone lines. We'll try to make it quick, fellas. All right? State your point clearly and concisely. Don't go into diatribes. 337, you're on the air. 337.
Dead Game Boxing. It's the takeover. Man, so exciting, brothers. So excited. I'm so happy with this win, bro. Look, Teofimo is the new unified, undisputed champion, brother. The body shots from the beginning, everything was just beautiful, man. The only thing that I didn't like was how much of a company man Andre Ward is. Andre Ward is a straight company man, bro. This dude had it even in the 10th round, bro. It makes no sense. No sense. Every time Loma would throw a flurry, they give him the round. That's why I said, Loma, they're going to try and steal it from you. When his daddy said, just come out just to win, and Loma and Teal just came out to win and push the fight, he did it, bro. I'm so excited. Look, y'all go to the next call, man. Peace out.
Well, I'm having a hard time understanding, okay, Andre Ward was biased, but I think he was I think they purposely put him in there to balance Tim Bradley out because Tim Bradley was stepping all over himself, tripping all over himself over everything Teofimo Lopez did.
No, but you can't make stuff up, man. You can't do that, bro. I mean, we see what it is, bro. You can't do that, bro. You got to be 100. Don't try and. I mean, every time Loma throw a fury, they give him the round, man. Look, the body shot is destroyed,
I thought it was
bro.
the opposite. I thought Bradley was the one saying, "Oh yeah, Loma was incomplete."
Listen. Bradley was being honest, bro. Bradley was being honest for a change, man. Look, Look,
For a
man,
change.
I'm
Okay,
just
yeah.
being 100, bro. I'm just being 100.
No,
Bro.
man.
The
Some
fight
of
was
those.
a beautiful, a beautiful executed fight. The young man had, to me, Lomachenko was kind of timid to come in the beginning of the
Mhm.
fight. He was timid, and I thought Loma was gonna get knocked out because he had to push the issue. I said when he gonna come in there, he gonna get knocked out. I think he was banking on just, I don't know what the hell Loma was doing in there.
He's trying to knock him out in the 12th round. That's what he's.
Look, all that bullshit, all that foot movement, that's bullshit. When you can turn with him and like he just kept that jab out, man. He kept touching him, just kept touching him, man. Loma was confused in the beginning. He just had to fight. So look, bro, it's the takeover. It's over. Let's get it. Teofimo Lopez, the takeover is done. It was a beautiful fight. Hands down, man. Totally awesome fight. I'm so happy about this fight, man. Look, I have to go celebrate, man. Y'all have a blessed night.
But hold on. Before you go, I want to ask you. We're talking
up?
about the takeover.
Go ahead.
I don't think there's going to be a rematch at 135 because Lopez has been adamant about saying that saying that he's going to move up to 140. So at 140 though, how do you see him doing there or performing there?
Listen, let me tell you something. In my opinion, to me, Lopez is so nice and he's so good. Why move up, man? Why do it, bro? You're the man right now in this division. You are the man. Why drop all these belts and move up, man? Wipe the floor with all them youngsters, man. Look, man. You're 23. You're 23 years old, man. Stay where you at. Box these guys up. He learned so much. He was so patient, bro. In my eyes, I lost money because I bet on rounds. I bet that Teofimo was gonna knock him out somewhere around the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th round. But he boxed so beautiful, man. The jab, the body shots. He looked like the veteran in there, man. It was just a magnificent performance, bro.
Hey, that game.
Magnificent.
I gotta ask you because you were saying that you thought they were trying to give Loma all the benefit of the doubt in there. The scorecards were pretty wide, meaning they were on the opposite side, maybe a little bit too extreme. But do you think there was? Are you saying? Well, hold on. Let me just get this straight. Are you saying there was an Eastern European agenda in the books?
No, what I'm saying was Andre Ward was a company man in there. Andre Ward was tripping. I don't know what the hell fight Andre Ward was looking at. No doubt, Lomachenko did win some of them fights in the later round. Some of the rounds in the later fight. I understand that, but the way Andre Ward was putting it was like this shit was a draw. I'm like, man, they're about to steal it from this brother, man. I can't, bro. I was getting so mad. My wife had to tell me to calm down. I'm like, they're about to rob him. They're about to rob him. But in the 12th round, when Teal's daddy said, you winning, just coast pretty much. I said, man, that's the wrong advice. But Teal came out there and won that 12th round, bro, just to put the exclamation point and the stamp on it, bro. I'm so excited. This kid is the goods, man. Do not, and I know Teal going to listen to this tomorrow. He going to listen to this tomorrow because he listens to y'all.
He listens to this show, absolutely.
Go to 140, man. Don't go to 140. Stay at 130.
Lopez is hanging on to your every word, man.
Listen, you can hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you all right. Don't you worry.
What I'm saying, from what I've seen, the patience, the power, the technique, none of these guys at 135 can touch this kid, man. Why move up and go to the Regis Prograis? Why go to a Josh Taylor? Why do that right now, bro? You young. Just stay where you at. You good. You made the weight comfortable. You look good in there. Stay where you at and just mollywop all these cats, man.
That's right. Can I bring a bit of fucking?
Hold on, Stu. Hold on. Let me just Dead game. Hold on. Dead game. Thank you for calling in. We're gonna move on now. Go celebrate. Don't drink and drive. Don't drink and drive though. Take it easy. Thank you for calling in, man. Call back next time. All right. Hold on a second, Stu. Yeah, go ahead, Stu, because we got a lot of phone calls to get to here.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to stay long. It's 6 o'clock in the morning in the UK. I thought Lomachenko was absolutely dreadful to me. I thought it was shocking. Look, I told you, when Lomachenko tries to overbox, there's nothing special coming from it. It's when he takes the fight to these guys, you see the best from him. Now, I actually left in the 12th round because we was around someone's house. I just, it was getting a bit fucking. Everyone was getting tired. The missus was moaning, so I thought, fuck this. It was the last round. I thought Teofimo's won this on the cards. I'm not even sure what the actual scorecard was. I take it Teofimo won on the points.
Did you ask me a question? I tuned out there.
Yeah, I'll just ask you a question. I take it Teofimo won on the scorecards. I left in the 12th. I had to leave from this house.
Oh yeah. He won.
Why do you D?
He was up on the cards for me. Look, Teofimo didn't have to do anything special tonight. Just had to basic stuff what he was doing. Lomachenko prancing around doing absolutely nothing for 4 or 5 rounds. I mean, anyone would have thought Joe Gallagher was in Lomachenko's corner giving him a game plan. I mean, fucking lose the first 7, come on strong in the last. Get out of here, man.
Hey, but hold on.
Rounds and. I'm sorry, mate. It was a dreadful performance of Lomachenko. And look, you are as good as your last
credit,
fight.
Man. You gotta leave Lopez.
Lomachenko is terrible.
You gotta give Lopez credit, man. He was
Lopez
strong.
was superb. Look, Lopez was superb, but he did nothing. He didn't have to do anything special tonight. I thought Lomachenko was atrocious. I really do. I mean, look, this is a pound for pound #1 guy we're talking about. He was dreadful. I mean, just a whole lot of nothing was going on, prancing around trying to out. But like I said, at 135, this guy at distance, useless. He's just nothing's happening. So when he sits in the pocket and lets his hands go, he looks a lot more dangerous. But unfortunately, let first 4 or 5 rounds go, did nothing. I thought it was an embarrassing performance.
I'm not gonna have that. Not gonna have that. Not on this show.
Do you think I'm gonna have that? Do you really think I'm gonna have that, you ponce?
I'm not gonna. Well, you gotta give Lopez credit, man, because Lomachenko was trying to tune this down to a science. Tap him with a couple of jabs here and there, keep him moving, keep him make him miss, and then turn it up late. He turned it up late, but then that 12th round, Lopez dug deep and he threw his shots and he won that decision, man. It's about what Lopez did. And okay, if you want to say Lomachenko, maybe, like I said, played it too close to the vest, that's fine. But to say that he looked dreadful in there, he was piecing Lopez up in the middle portion of the fight, like the 8th round to about the 11th.
Yeah, look, it took him fucking 7 rounds to get going. I mean,
well, that's to Lopez's credit, man. That's to you gotta give Lopez credit, man.
Look. Yes, Lopez was tremendous tonight. The kid is a serious talent. I said that before. But Lomachenko did nothing to put this kid under pressure, really. It was a dreadful performance. I mean, if you was impressed by Lomachenko tonight, then you need to evaluate your life.
All right.
Because I thought it was dreadful.
Now, fellas, we got a lot of phone calls. I see we got Revolucion on in here. Revolucion, what's up, man?
Just depressed again, man. That was a depressing performance.
Depressing from
dreadful.
Who? From Loma?
Dreadful. Yeah, I agree with Stu. You feel let down.
I thought it was a good fight, man. I was on the edge of my seat.
Hey, do you know? I tell you how let down I felt. Right? You know when you fucking pull a chick and you can put your hand down there and there's no vagina there. That's basically how. That's how let down I was tonight by Lomachenko. I mean,
Jesus Christ,
it was
it's
dreadful.
A boxing fight.
I thought that the soul of Rigondeaux had possessed Lomachenko tonight because it was 6 punches around, weren't it?
Okay, hold on. I gotta read these super chats here. Hold on. LDBC Hitman X says Loma felt the power early on and was surprised. Yeah, absolutely, LDBC. And by the way, LDBC, I forgot to read your other comment there before, but thank you for your contribution, man. Shout out to Keith Morton, who just donated as well. He says, you guys all pick Lomachenko, LM, laughing my ass off. Well, was that really such a bad pick then? I mean, we're not going to give... Okay, so then let's not give Teofimo Lopez any credit, Keith. You can't have it both ways, man. Either this is a good...
Thing. Yeah, go ahead. Finish up with the comments.
Go ahead, Gonzalo. Go ahead, Gonzalo.
Yeah,
first, and then,
what I was going to say is...
I said Gonzalo. Hold on. Guys, Gonzalo and Revolucion.
I can't hear you.
Gonzalo and Revolucion.
I can't hear Revolution at all, so just let me know when to stop.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to be brief. I slightly disagree with Stu in the fact that, I mean, he was dancing. He abandoned the angles. And the lead hand control that he usually establishes, he did not do that. And the reasons, I believe, was that Teofimo Lopez punches good with the 2 hands, so he was afraid of getting countered with that single lead hand. So he didn't even fight for lead hand control. Mm-hmm. And with the changing of the angles, I think he didn't want to come in too fleet-footed and soft, around the body. He wanted to come in like, fucking knuckling up, and that's why he didn't feel comfortable on the inside because he was afraid of getting caught to the body, and he certainly did. That's why I think he abandoned his game plan.
Yeah, I think so too. I agree with that, man. Those body shots. We said it, man. If you want to beat Loma, you can't just go headhunting. Wilson, go ahead, please.
Ah, man, I gotta remember it now, man. I'm tired.
Yeah, you said you're depressed. Look, it's a boxing fight. I don't know why you get so down on the performance. Oh, hold on.
No,
Another.
it wasn't exciting. You know what I mean? Because I could appreciate, a Tyson Fury Klitschko fight. That's a watch it once and then you're done kind of chess match. You could appreciate it for that level. But man, it was just a kind of lackluster performance, not so exciting perforance.
I thought it was a good fight, man. I thought it was a good fight. Ringside Charlie, shout out to Ringside, says LDBC taking credit for Lopez. I don't understand why the LDBC, they hate Loma so much. Well, I mean, I guess I know why, but I mean, why am I getting...
This is actually what I was going to say, and it relates to that, is to all the guys that are going to slag Loma and be like, oh, it was shit all along and everything, right? If you slag Loma, then Teofimo, who did he beat then? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
No,
it was a good fight. It was a close fight, and Teofimo won. I believe the right man won, not the white man.
You're slurring now too.
Look, you can't go. No matter how good you are, you can't go into world class elite boxing think you can give away the first 5 rounds and get the job done. Look, Teofimo tonight was fighting at a pace that he could have fought for 36 rounds fighting like that. There was no pressure put on him. It was just a whole lot of nothing from Lomachenko, just prancing around doing nothing. And look, at 135, his weaknesses have been shown a little bit, but tonight I thought he was terrible. I really do. I just can't. I just don't know what to say. I'm shocked. I mean, look, I've said Lomachenko's a great fighter, and he still is a great fighter. But that performance tonight was unacceptable.
All right, hold on. Now, before we continue, shout out to Mr. E donating for the super chat. He says Loma is human and Cuban. I don't think I quite understand that one, Mr. E, but thank you for your contribution. He is certainly human. Oh, hold on a second. Jeez. Okay, a lot of activity here, guys. Bear with me. Keith Morton just donated for the super chat as well. And he's saying, calm down, guys. You guys are almost always wrong. Come to the LDBC. We welcome you. MAGA 2020. Love Loma, by the way. Lopez is just better. Well, I don't know if he's just better, but I mean, it was a close fight, man. And he was substantially bigger. That's one of the reasons why some people picked him. But anyway, before we go to the phone calls, I see we got D on the line. D, are you there?
Well,
D?
Here it comes.
I don't think he can hear me. Hold on a second.
I'm here. I know you guys, was waiting for it. Now, I just want to say for the 8 of you that said Lomachenko was going to stop him, pure tomfoolery. That's what I was trying to tell you. This kid's more durable than a damn Peraza or a Luke Campbell. And if he didn't stop them, I don't know what made y'all think he was going to stop.
Yeah, but to be fair, D, come on, mate. D, I'd have gone the distance with Lomachenko tonight. Yeah, you can have it, bro, but I'd have gone the distance with Lomachenko tonight.
You gotta let me have it. I don't care. Look, I was wrong about the 7-round knockout, but who holding those 4 straps? That's the question. It's Teofimo Lopez and all of the things you guys. Now all I hear is what Loma didn't do.
No, wait a minute. You hear that from? Hold on.
DJ.
Are we really going to do that? Are we really going to do that? Get our cocks out every time we get a fucking prediction.
Yeah, right? That's a good point. That's not how we do it in this show.
All he cares about is the
I'm talking over here. What the fuck? I'm talking over here. I'm talking over here. Hold on. I want to D let finish, but D, you can't start saying about that Lopez. We got to give him credit for not getting stopped, but then you picked Lopez to stop Lomachenko, so everything evened out at the end of the day with their endurance. Now, I want to ask you this, though. The 12th round, that's what surprised me, because Lomachenko was playing it close to the vest there. Were you surprised that he was playing it that close and that safe early on?
The 8th round. Because I even told you guys, this kid is in trouble if it gets past the 8th round, and he shocked me. Because he almost started pouring it on. Me and Mark did commentary on the fight. So he was pouring it on. And going into the 12th round, I had it 6-5, Teofimo, going into the 12th round. And I was like, man, I think we might be seeing a draw here, or they edge it to Loma or edge it to Teofimo. But Teofimo shocked me in the 12th round. Yeah, totally shocking, bro. Because I knew the kid could box, but he did just some things, Like it's not okay. Like Lomachenko, I definitely said it myself during the fight. Like Lomachenko was too timid in the first 6 rounds, and I was like, Lomachenko gave away too many rounds early in that fight because had he to capitalize off at least 4 rounds per se, the way he came on later in that fight, and he's going to win that fight. So he gave away too many rounds early in the fight. Wasn't a lot of activity round 1, 2, 3, right? But Teofimo had a lot to do with keeping his jab busy. Even I said on the show, when the guy called in, I'm like, bro, Teofimo, what fight have you seen him utilize his jab? He utilized that power jab more than anything.
I didn't see it though. I saw Loma blocking most of the shots upstairs. But I tell you what though, when Loma was putting it on him, I was thinking, oh boy, because Lopez was doing a good job of countering to the body, which is something that we all speculated he should have done. And then when he started getting away from that, then again, credit to Lomachenko because he was slapping him upstairs and distracting him from it. But then in the 12th round, when Loma tried to jump on him and tried to put him out, I don't know if it was a second wind or just digging deep, but Lopez did hang in there and actually got the better of him. So that was very impressive. What?
For BDAC is this like that paw and jab? It won't meant to be popping Lomachenko. It was meant to set something up behind it. But that's enough to keep Lomachenko back. Because what will come behind that jab if he proceeds, right? Like, and Teofimo's quick with it. And everybody don't have to give Teofimo the credit, but Lomachenko in that ring was giving him the credit for it because he knew that kid could come back with something behind that little paw and jab. And that was the danger, catching him coming in, right? So that's what happened.
I always said the way Teofimo would beat Lomachenko was to punch with him. And that's exactly what he did. I mean, but he was throwing combinations while Lomachenko was throwing single shots. So every time Lomachenko would land, he was getting 2 in return. And this is the problem with Lomachenko, man. He just I thought D was spot on. He was just doing a hell of a lot of nothing in the earlier rounds. And once Teofimo got his confidence, he just grew from there. I mean, I was expecting Lomachenko to put the pressure on this kid and bamboozle him, but he was fighting at a pace where most fighters would love to fight at that pace. I mean, Teofimo didn't have to do anything special tonight. Just use his basic stuff, his speed, and his skill set as well. Let's be real, he's got a very good skill set, but he didn't have to do nothing special. He didn't have to dig deep. I thought Lomachenko I just can't understand that performance. I mean, giving away the first 5 rounds.
What Teofimo did was, in a sense, very much Vladimir Klitschko like. It was basic so to speak, but it was very effective, and he did exactly what he needed to do. Maintain distance, he was in and out, and he kept throwing very straight punches. He didn't really go to the hook and just kept it long, and he did the right thing. The thing that surprised me is how Loma wasn't moving away from the right hand. He was moving into the right hand and not trying to get foot position and get inside. Because when he did get inside, I forget what round it was, but it was midway through the fight, and then later on in the fight, I was shocked at how easily he was able to hurt Teofimo. I thought Teofimo was a lot more hurt than Lomachenko ever was in the fight. But Loma was just afraid of the power, and credit to Teofimo because he was, even when Loma tried to get foot position, in a few instances that he did, and maybe that's what shut it down, Teofimo would pivot and throw his power, and I think Loma was just afraid of getting knocked out. So,
See, when
I give a lot of. Hold on,
go ahead,
just
sorry,
one last thing. Sorry, I am disappointed with some of the things that Loma did, but I give him a lot of credit because to me, I thought Teofimo was gonna knock him the fuck after the first round. I was like, oh shit, he's gonna knock him out. That's what I thought. He had to do what he did. Loma came to win, man. He put it all on the line. He did what he had to do. Yeah, it was a little disappointing here and there, but man, I'm not in there taking those. And Teofimo just shut him down. Teofimo shut him down. That's what it is.
Yeah. We spoke that, Teofimo, he can't really push forward all that often, that he's better as like punching stationary where he can have his feet really planted on the canvas. I have to give him credit for transitioning his body weight, kind of like shifting, moving forward, and punching. Man, he's a wrecking ball.
Yeah, he is. He's got those heavy, fast hands, man. Now, guys, let's go to the phone lines real quick because we've got people waiting and it's late at night. Let's go to 832. You're on the air. 832.
Man, that was a super good fight, man. Man, I think contrary to popular like belief conception, I don't think Lomachenko gives away rounds early on. See, what I think, what it is he does this in every fight, man. It's just like it's like a vetting process, man. He sees what you're working with. He sees like what attacks you would come with. And I think in the first round, I think Teofimo Lopez hurt him, and I think he obviously it's not that he's like timid, but I think in this fight he actually became timid once Teofimo Lopez won that first round, because I think he won the first round, or I don't think he won the first round, but like. Or I don't know if he did or not, but he definitely put it on Lomachenko, and I think Lomachenko, how do I say this? Like he was willing to put himself on the back foot, and I think Teofimo Lopez was having his way with him. I think that's just what it is. Like, you know what this reminds me of?
Go ahead.
You know what this reminds me of?
Yeah, go ahead.
Like Triple G versus. Hold up, nah, I gotta go, man. Hold on.
All right, man. Well, okay, call back if we're still here in a couple of minutes, all right, man? Oh, he dropped out.
Real quick, guys. Real quick, I gotta just say that I don't much agree with that because, like I said, I did commentary on that fight. That first round that he was talking about, it was literally about 5 3-punchers, bro. 5 hit. Yes, neither of those guys threw a lot of punches.
It was the first 4 rounds. The first 3 rounds, it was sort of like slim pickings. I thought Lopez won the first one for sure because Loma was just trying to fill him out in there, and Lopez landed some good body shots. Second round, I thought Loma took it with those left hands of his. And then the third, fourth, and fifth, Loma started, he was landing a jab here and there, but it was mostly him catching shots. And I can't give a guy rounds for catching shots to the body, to the gloves, to the arms. By the way, I see we got a full house now. Oh, boy. Okay, we got everybody. We got Recognize, we got Jimmy, we got Pete. Guys, like I said, let's keep it brief here because we got a lot of phone calls too, and it's full house. Let's start with, I don't know who got here first. Well, let's go with Pete. Pete, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Well, what did you think of the fight? What's your assessment of what happened?
Well, damn good fight. All right. Props to Tio. I think he did his thing. I think he won that fight. I'm going to keep it real. I called for Loma by a unanimous decision and a wide one. I was dead wrong. Loma came out, as usual, throwing very, very, very few... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
Throwing very few punches. He's circling to Lomachenko's left for the first 5-6 rounds, in the opposite direction that you think he would. Tio was landing whatever shots he could. He won the first 6 rounds. Now, if you want to, I didn't sit there and score it like with a pencil or anything, but you want to give him. I don't understand. You give him round 2 or round 3. You're talking about Loma really throwing very, very close to 0 shots, which is as expected. Bradley, for some reason, sounded like a fucking casual. Like, what the? He's amazed that Loma's doing nothing, and it's pretty much standard practice for Loma. Now, in the 5th and 6th round, you'd start to see Loma turn it up normally, circle to his right, so that he could pivot around Teofimo. He started to do that, but he waited too long. So, giving away the first half of the fight, you realize, and I think he knew it himself, that he needed to stop Teofimo to win the fight. Now, from the 7th, 8th, 9th, Loma was progressing, and I'm saying to myself, well, shit, he can't win a decision at this point. I think he waited too long. He's gonna have to knock him out. He tried to knock him out. Props for Teofimo. He knew it was coming. He had enough in the tank to throw as many power shots as he possibly could to a straight oncoming in a straight line Lomachenko coming for that knockout. Loma ate every fucking shot that Tio threw in that 12th round. I'm sure he was hurt. He just didn't have enough to put him away. Teofimo won the fight. There's 119, 109 is ridiculous. That's too wide. It didn't happen like that either.
Yeah, but the right guy got the decision for sure, man. By the way,
yeah, man, absolutely. You can't get that fight to go.
Yeah, we got a full house here. When I go to
Hello, fellas. Everybody's here.
Yeah, okay, everybody's here. All right, listen. Let's go to who's here? Okay, Jimmy. How about you, man? How did you see the fight?
Yeah, I'll make it short and sweet. The right man won. Right man got his hand raised. Those scorecards were atrocious. Julie Lenneman fucking needs to find a new career. But the fight kind of went exactly where I thought it would go. I thought Lomachenko would take the first 6 rounds off, just study the kid, reach one to jump in. But I think the quickness surprised him, and his quickness surprised him. And when in the 11th round, that was the round we all called, and that was when he was gasping there, and he had him fucking, you know what I mean? It was just, but at the end of the day, this is what it comes down to. Lomachenko fucked around too long in a weight class he don't belong in. It was clear tonight, dude. It was just clear to me. It was more obvious to me than ever with that kid. He just doesn't belong at lightweight. He props off the fucking hot. Nobody, you know what I mean? Hot. He took some shots, and he took some big shots, and anybody ever calls that dude a hype job, all he's ever done is fight tough kids. My respect. Now, this is what coming for Lopez. What he showed in the 12th round after fucking gasping and being almost out on his feet, in the 11th to come back in the 12th to show that kind of hot. Mad props to that kid. Kid's a nasty fighter. It's a winner for everybody. Great fight. That's just about it, man. And Loma needs to go back down. And nobody's going to beat Lopez at 135.
Yeah, but Loma needs to start throwing punches.
Respect, Jimmy.
That could be a start. Start throwing punches. That'd be a start. It don't matter what fucking weight you are. If you're not throwing punches, you ain't going to win. I mean, it was hesitant stuff. I just couldn't understand the game plan. I mean, look, you've got to get a couple of rounds in the bag. You have early on in the first 6. You've got to get a couple of rounds in the bag and take it from there. It can't be arrogance to think you can lose the first 6 having a look and then come on strong. And this kid, Teofimo, I told you, he's no joke. He's a tough kid. I just thought mentally he could get bamboozled. But Lomachenko gave him nothing to get bamboozled about. Did the same things all night. Didn't throw single shots.
You know what?
Come on.
Yeah, Lopez, we knew there was going to be a possibility with that quick trigger of his. And in fact, that's why we disagreed on the hand speed when we were classifying each guy's strength. I wasn't entirely sure that Lopez was slower than Lomachenko or vice versa. But in my mind, with that one-shot counter, he was very quick. Let me go to Recognize real quick because we got people waiting on the phone. Let's Recognize, are you there? And if so, can you please give us your assessment of this fight, Rooney?
Yeah, against my better judgment, I went to watch the fight with my friend invited me. He was going to have the fight. So I said, yeah, fuck it. I'll go over there. And I watched the fight with them. So, of course, I was a little distracted. But from what I saw, Tio won the fight. I don't have a problem with it. I kind of agree with Andre Ward, who I usually don't agree with. The fight, I think he had it 7-5 or 6-6, I believe. He either had it for Tio or he had it a draw. I forgot what his exact scorecard was. But that's what I felt. I felt that Lomachenko, and I'm not making excuses for him, but he looked intimidated. I think for whatever reason, and before he got into the ring, he wasn't he was kind of unsure of himself. Look, Tio's a big boy, okay? And he's much bigger than Lomachenko. I'm sure you guys could see that. He's got a much wider back. He's a thicker dude. He's a big, strong, young dude. And I believe Loma, I agree, yeah, he was doing the right movements and stuff like that, but he was wasting too much time. And when he did pick up the pace in the second half of the fight, he was tired, bro, because he was getting hit with shots as well. Mm-hmm. And Tio wasn't as broken down as he thought he would be. And I always say the first 4 rounds was going to be real interesting for Teofimo. Now, it turned out to be very tactical, but I think Teofimo established that he's obviously the bigger, stronger guy. which he proved to be. But most importantly, he let Lomachenko know that he's the bigger, stronger guy. And that won him the fight. That basically won the fight. The second half of the fight, he picked up the pace, but Teofimo still had energy in him. Now, I don't agree with the scorecards. I have to rewatch it, but I was pretty. I was okay with Teofimo winning because I thought Teofimo won the fight. Even if it would have been a draw, I would have been like, yeah, Teofimo won that fight because he was the aggressor most of the fight. It's not like Lomachenko did something, like was counterpunching him like with unbelievable combo shots, counter shots, but it was very tactical. It was very boring at times, and yeah, I don't have a problem with Teofimo winning. He proved to be, not just a person that has one punch to knock him out. He stood his ground. He fought him big, like a big man, and he beat him.
Yeah, man, we got to give Lopez credit, man, because, I mean, look, everybody, like, I got to reiterate, most people were saying Loma by decision or Lopez by knockout. Well, it turns out he had the strength and the heart to dig deep when Loma was putting it on him. Because to me, it was, like, again, those scorecards were too wide, and I definitely think Lopez needed to secure the 12th round to win. So he dug deep, man. He did what he had to do. And Lomachenko, again, he doesn't have to go in there and be disappointed because, I mean, it was a close fight. But like Stu did make a good point is you gotta let those hands go. But like Precise and Recognize also said, it's kind of hard to do that when the other guy is shocking you with speed and
BD,
power.
I want to say one more thing. Tio did get to his head. He did. And even going into that fight, I said there was one thing that caught my attention is Lomachenko explaining what he wanted to do to him, and psychologically that could work against you sometimes because sometimes when you're fighting, you got to be elusive, you got to be smooth, and you got to control your emotions. And I think it backfired on him in the first half of the fight, and obviously it cost him the fight in the long run.
Absolutely.
BDA.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Make it snappy, please, Gonzalo. Not to be impolite, but it's because I want to get to a couple of phone calls. Go ahead.
That body shot, that straightforward, that straight punch, similar to the one he knocked out Diego Magdaleno, had a lot of venom on it, man. I don't know if it took something out of Loma, but yeah, that's a hard shot, man. He was going to the body.
Yeah, and I, he went. I actually think he hurt Loma to the body in the 8th. But he didn't follow up on it. But I thought he stunned him with something a little bit downstairs, man. Should have kept the pressure on him there. All right,
Tio fought smart. He had a smart game plan. He wasn't going to overreact and get Lomachenko to catch him with something big.
Okay, hold on. Let's go to the phone calls real quick. Hold on. Let's go to the phone calls real quick, man. 773. You're on the air. 773.
Who said it was just a little bit? Oh, the scorecard said it was a little bit off. Who said that? BDA?
I don't know. I said they were wide. Did I say bit off? I said wide.
You said they were wide.
The scorecards were a little bit off. Just a little
Kevin,
bit.
why do you always gotta put words in my mouth? Like the other day you were calling me that you were saying that my real name was Shapiro. Now you're saying that I thought that the scorecards were correct. I just told you the scorecards were wide. I didn't agree with the scorecards, but I do agree with.
Just a little bit. You said a little bit.
Well, we'll catch it on the. Okay. We'll catch it on the replay. State your point anyway. Stop with the filler busting.
119 to 111, 119 to 109, 117 to 111. Just ridiculous scorecards. Soon as I seen Weisfeld and Letterman with Bob Arum promoting it, I knew we were in trouble. I mean, look at the early rounds.
Anti-Semite.
Those were not dominant rounds. A lot of those rounds were off the elbows that were blocked. You look at round 6 through 12, Lomachenko was landing the cleaner shots. They were snapping his head back. They were wobbling Teofimo Lopez. He was the one close to getting finished. Lomachenko was never close to getting finished. He was never stuck on the ropes. He's always circling. Some of these, you guys are supposed to be like boxing experts, and you sound foolish.
Okay, D, I need you on this one. Straighten him out for me, please. Straighten the young out for me.
No. I got him. Kevin, let me tell you something, man. Lomachenko nor Teofimo did too much in the first round. That's number one. But Teofimo did slightly enough to win more those first 3 rounds, really. Slightly enough, okay? When you talk about 3, 4, and 5, because I commentated the fight, Kevin, so just sit back and listen for a while. Let's go for a ride. When you talk about 3, 4, and 5, Teofimo did enough to keep Lomachenko guessing on how to get in. Now, Lomachenko didn't pull the trigger, and at some levels, I agree with Stu. He should have tried some things earlier because once he tried those things in the 7th and 8th round, there, Kevin, he had success. He started to find success, and he started to find
No, he
Teofimo,
had
and he
success in the
turned the
6th,
fight.
7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and
You gotta
11th
listen to
round.
learn, Kevin.
He had
You gotta
success
listen to
in the
learn,
middle
buddy.
all the way to the end of the fight. The 12th
Yeah.
round I gave to Lopez. He was
In
landing
the
the
12th round,
cleaner,
they should have
effective
gave to
shots.
Lopez because he won it. He won the 12th round. Okay, so I don't know what kind of boxing you was watching there, sir, but go rewatch it again, and maybe you'll have insight on what really happened. Because you, my man, are a bit delusional.
Well, Andre Ward called it a draw. Do you disagree with Andre Ward?
Of course, because I think Teofimo won.
So wait, you're telling me that Lomachenko didn't pick it up in the middle to the later rounds? You're telling me he wasn't
Didn't.
winning those mid to late rounds?
I just said that. I had it. I had it 6-5 going into the 12th round, 6-5, and Lomachenko lost the 12th round. He lost that championship round. That's what counted, man. All of that 119, 109, those judges must have been sniffing some kind of good shit before they got into the fight. But I'm telling you now, the right man got his hand
Okay,
raised.
so you don't know what you're talking about because the judges were clearly off. They were clueless. It doesn't matter because they were going to rob him regardless, just like they robbed Kovalev in the Andre Ward fight, just like they robbed Triple G in the Canelo fight. This is what they do. They build up these Eastern Europeans and they rob them.
All right,
because the sport is ran by a bunch of Jews.
You're the okay. No, wait.
That's why it's going down the drain.
Recognize. All right, Kevin, give me two. Kevin, give me 2 seconds. Kevin,
kidding me?
Don't make me mute you, please. Kevin. All right, recognize. I'm gonna lower his volume. Recognize. You're the kid's godfather. Clearly, he's in distress. Like, help him out for me here, please. All right, could you do that?
I don't want to talk to that dude. I want to talk to Stu. I want to talk to Stu.
Stu's not here. Stu's not here, but
was useless. You really said he was useless. He dominated that half of the fight. He nearly finished him, got him out of there. Teofimo was hanging on by a thread. He was getting rocked. He was getting battered. His head was getting snapped back.
Listen, Kevin.
Listen, I agree. Kevin. I agree that he was having a lot of success.
Go ahead, recognize.
He was having a lot of success in the second half of the fight, right? If somebody says that he won 4 rounds out of the last 6, I wouldn't disagree. But even it was too late. It was too late because he needed to do some of that stuff early. Now the judges' scorecards are terrible, of course. I mean, we know they're trying to make it look like, in other words, in the history books. And if people that are infatuated with numbers, they would see a wide blowout, right? They're going to see a wide score, and they're going to be like, damn, man, Lomachenko was no match for him, all right?
Mm-hmm.
But everything Loma did, all his calculations of the fight, he was wrong. He was off, bro. He was off. I think if he would have tried that earlier, and he would have had some success like that, I think Teofimo would have been in a lot of trouble. But that didn't happen. He gave the judges that were probably, because we're not in their heads, we don't know them, that were probably looking for rounds to give Tio, and Loma made it very easy, especially in the first 6 rounds.
Yeah.
Now,
and look, real quick, BDA.
Hey guys,
let me
my last
piggyback
point
off
before I head
of
out.
hold on. One at a time.
Let me piggyback off of recognize right quick. Bro, I
I'm
agree
gonna
with
say
him
my
totally.
point real quick. Then I'm gonna head out. Okay, so just hold
All
on.
right, go ahead, Kevin.
All right. But this is why boxing is falling apart. This is why the ratings are trash. That's why this should be a pay-per-view fight. If this was UFC behind it, they'd be pulling in millions of pay-per-view buys. It's because boxing is a corrupt sport. It's ran by people like Bob Arum.
No.
On the other side, you got
Careful
UFC
now.
people like
No. Wait, you just say Bob Arum. In defense,
Hold on. Hold it. You look at the ratings for boxing events. They've been trash. You look at the UFC numbers. They're pulling in millions of pay-per-view buys. They're pulling in ratings galore. They're putting on title fight after title fight of the very best. And
they're also cheaper pay-per-view buys too.
Kevin, we get your point, man. Let's wait until the ratings come out at least. Because these were on ESPN, so let's see what happens with the ratings, man. It's not like you make it out sometimes.
Pathetic. This should be a pay-per-view fight. ESPN,
no, it shouldn't.
This should be pay-per-view, prime time, selling $65. But because they know boxing is going down the tube, they stick it on TV, free TV.
But if it was on pay-per-view, you would say, "Oh, why are you making this pay for this fight? It should be on free TV."
Why should it? Because they should be making money off a world champion fighter going up in weight against someone who's probably 4 weight classes bigger in Teofimo, but instead they're putting on free TV. They should be charging $65.
All right. Listen,
and,
Kevin.
You guys are just clearly biased.
Oh,
you don't want to call it down the middle, but you're a little.
You know,
they're a little bit off. They're a little bit. Just
nobody said a little bit off. I said, my goodness gracious. All right, Kevin. Listen, thank you for calling in. Kevin, thank you for calling in. The phone calls are piling up, but take it easy out there. Have a good night.
On certain parts, I agree with Kevin. On certain things, I
on certain things, I do as well. Oh, he called me a shithead at the end. Can you believe that? That's unbelievable. Anyway, D, you wanted to say something based off of what Rick and I said. Go ahead.
No, I agree with him because I was saying during the fight, right? Like in the 7th round, what Loma started to do to Teofimo, when I was commentating the fight, I actually said he was about to pour it on like that in the 5th round, right? So you got to think, if he starts to take over by the 5th round, then you kind of shift the fight his way. If he doesn't stop the kick, right? He would have got him in trouble earlier. He would have had more rounds to finish him off. So if he starts to do what he did in the 7th round, if he starts to do that in the 5th round, then Lomo's winning the fight. Because I don't care what the judge's scorecard said. That was a 7-5 fight, right? So if Loma does that 2 rounds earlier, he takes over at an earlier margin, and I think that he wins the fight 7-5 Loma's way.
You have a good point. Indeed. Did you notice after the 1st round? I don't know. I was paying attention to this part. When he goes to the corner, and it continued, and it got worse. He's looking at his dad like, yeah. Like, yeah, hurry up. Give me the information that you like. It was just a little off about him. Like everything. And again, I'm not making excuses for him. I just feel that Tio was in his head. Tio was in, yeah, I don't know if it was the size of when he looked at Tio, he said, damn, this dude is really strong. He's really big. He hits hard. Was it? I don't know what it was, but to me, from after the 1st round, and even before the fight, he didn't seem like himself. He seemed concerned about. I'm gonna assume it's Tio. I'm gonna assume that he's concerned about it.
In that 1st round, the 2nd punch that Teofimo caught him with was a nice, good body shot. Now, I want to say that body shot gave him some information of how hard the kid hits, so it made him more cautious of executing his game plan. He pulled the trigger a little too late. He still had Teofimo confused. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. Once Lomachenko turned on Lomachenko, he still had Teofimo confused. The problem is that it got to a point where I don't know who said it, but he got to the point where he had to knock him out. So when you get to that point, then you have to take chances. And Teofimo clipped him a couple of times, right? So
yeah,
you know what I mean. And that's basically what it was, bro. It was like, look, I admitted it on my live. No fucking way I expected Teofimo to win by decision. I'm telling you guys that right now. So shout out. I mean, he even surprised me on some things. Like that kid fought a good fight, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yo, D, and credit to Teofimo Lopez for continuing to punch to the body really late into the fight.
Right.
That was impressive to me.
He fought like a big man, Gonzalo. He fought like the bigger guy. That's what you do.
Well, he's
with a
big
little
for
shorter
you.
guy. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying he's big for you, but you know.
Pause.
Anyway, listen, I wanted to say something real quick. Fucking Kevin was kept going at the chat room, going, "I'm on the phone. I'm on the phone. I know you're on the phone, but I got 8-9 panelists here. I want to hear what they got to say." So I can't rush to the phone because Kevin's on the phone so that he can call me a Jew. I'm sorry, I'm not. That's not the way it works around here.
Kevin.
And by the way, he was it just me or did he sound a little bit like Karen from Goodfellas?
Don't hang up on me.
I want to talk to Stu.
I want to talk to you.
Shut up.
Yeah, he's got it in for Stu for some reason. Like he's really got it in for him.
He probably feels like he got one over on Stu because Stu got this one wrong. But man, we all get it wrong. In the 11th round, I promise you all. I even told Mark. I was like, oh damn, how long was gonna put him down.
The only thing
in the 11th round, bro.
I
was like, oh shit.
The only thing I thought could happen, because this is how off Loma was for me, and credit to Tio. The only thing I thought could happen was maybe he could score a knockdown, like a quick little knockdown that really, puts pressure on him, but nothing big,
Right.
Nothing. But because he needed to do that early, and he couldn't establish that, just did too much moving around without doing anything. It was just like, look, I get it. Tio gets credit for that. He does. Yeah. I think that he looked at that man. Sometimes you can look at somebody and feel their power, when they glance you. Just glance you, and he's like, yo, I don't want to get caught flush with that shot.
Yeah.
He fights a lot similarly to the Charlos. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Yeah, a little bit in that he's a counterpuncher.
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
He a little more calculated. He a little more calculated than those guys. You know
and
what I mean?
Faster,
why was Loma circling to his fucking right? What the fuck was that about?
Listen, hold on.
Hold on. Hold on, because I gotta get to the phone calls, man. There's people that have been waiting for close to half an hour. So
I'm gonna answer that one though.
All right.
To his right.
Yeah, don't forget it. 407, you're on the air. 407.
Hey guys, it's Borico over here. I would have brought it on earlier, but I was busy with some stuff.
All right.
But I just wanted to say a couple things, and I'm gonna get out quick. First of all, I want to give a shout out to my dad because I didn't have an exact prediction, but a lot of people were on my dad because he was going for Teofimo, and everybody else was going for Loma. But you already know what happened, so congrats to him.
Shout out to your dad.
Yeah, I'm here. I'll call out right away. I think Teofimo's team, they really have a plan, and they implement since the beginning of the fight. And I was keep away from, not be close to Lomachenko. And I think they execute the plan very well. I think he fight very smart. I don't think it was that 119, 109, but I think it was 116, 112. And I think it has to be a lot with the beginning of the fight that Lomachenko he was doing nothing. He was just trying to figure out how to get into Teofimo, but I think the plan, and this is all about what you do during your training, and I think they did a great job. I think that young kid, he have a future in boxing. He put back the boxing, in the map, because I think until this fight, for me, Lomachenko was the best fighter in the world, but I think it's good for boxing. I think boxing need this. I think, of course, that that happened to me before. Judges can have like a wrong decision to open, but I think boxing needs this, and I think it's good for all the fans. I've been a fan of boxing for I'm 43. I'm maybe since 10, 12 years old. I watching boxing, but I think at this moment. I think it's great for boxing, but it was a good boxing night fight, and I think, it's good for all the fans, man.
Absolutely, man.
Congratulate for both. They're two professionals. They're two guys that come in. Look at the amount of fight that they have, and they give all in this fight. One is 15-0, right, and the other one is 12-0. Not 15-1, but what I mean is this is good for boxing. This is
absolutely, man. A youngin with
put
power.
They put everything on the line.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's another thing. You know, both they came out with belts, you know, championship, and that's what we need. We need to be, you know, watching fights that, you know, champion versus champions and see who's the best.
Absolutely, man. This is what it was all about, man. He was young, and he's young. He's got quick hands and power, and he's only 23, so the future is bright. We're going to get to that, by the way. But Boricua, we got a lot of phone calls, so thank you for calling in and giving your input, and we'll catch you on the next one. All right, man?
All right, no problem. God bless. Hopefully I'll call in tomorrow.
All right, man.
If there is a show.
Yeah, if there is a show, because I'm not sure if there's going to be one. By the way, 43 years old. He's a baby compared to the age of some of us around here. I'm about ready to retire now.
No. Wait a second. Speak for yourself.
Yeah, okay, you're right. 559, you're on the air. 559.
What's up, man? It's Daniel, man. Can I be heard?
Absolutely, Daniel. Go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
Oh, okay. Now, listen, man. I'm going to tell you, Cass. I'm going to tell you straight down the middle, no chaser. Exactly what I've seen in this fight, man, was a complete robbery. I've been watching boxing. I grew up watching boxing. I'm a box amateur myself a little bit. Lomachenko-Lopez lost that fight. Not only did he lose, he got beat up. Now, I don't know what you guys are talking about, man. It's like, if the score, I think in actuality, if they had said Loma won, you guys would be on the air right now saying how Loma did such a masterful job. Lomachenko blocked about 90% of punches that dude threw, and he dodged nearly all those punches. I'll say he lost the 12th round. Teofimo turned it up in the 12th round because he came out hard because he knew he was down on those scorecards. He was getting his ass kicked that whole fight. The only person I seen landing clear shots was Lomachenko. Lomachenko was kicking that boy's ass the whole fight. Now I don't know what you dudes we're looking at, man. I really don't, man. And I think that not only are you guys talking absolutely crazy, but I was like, when I seen the fight, when it was over, I said the fix. Hold on, let me say what I gotta say.
Yeah, go ahead.
The fix was in. The fix was in. When I heard this idiot Tim Bradley and this other dumbass Andre Ward, who got his ass kicked by the other Russian dude, kicked his ass, and he lost that first fight against the Russian dude. I forgot his name. He kicked his ass, so he's an idiot. Tim Bradley got his ass beat up so many times.
All right, Daniel. Now you're just badmouthing. Now they're just badmouthing the poor commentators. But Daniel, now you're just badmouthing the poor commentators. Now I want you to come.
The only thing is, I'm just frustrated, man, with this bullshit ass decision. And not only that, last thing here, man, is that those scorecards were absolutely horrendous. You know what I mean?
Well, that I agree with.
The most horrendous yeah, that was horrendous, man. Teofimo-Lopez got his ass kicked. His head, the man was getting his fucking head knocked around the ring, man. He didn't even land one head shot on Lomachenko.
Can we make this happen? Can we get you to come on down here over in Canada to the BDA headquarters, and we want to do a drug test? Not for jokes or anything. Just we want to make sure you're okay, man.
I think you need a drug test, man, because obviously you don't know nothing about boxing, man. Because Teofimo-Lopez got his ass beat up, man.
So what was your scorecard? Okay, what was your scorecard, Daniel?
Okay, when they said, let me tell you this. When they said what was it, 190?
What was your scorecard? What was your scorecard? I'm curious.
Listen to me. If you listen, I'll tell you.
Okay.
If you stop talking, I'll tell you. Listen.
Well, you're filibustering. We got a lot of phone calls, and you're filibustering with me here. Come on, man.
I get it. I understand that, but the rest of you motherfuckers coming on here talking stupid, talking about Lopez. Lopez got beat up, man. Now, when that first scorecard came out, I think it was 119, 112. I said, oh,
109
for Lomachenko, man, because I saw 119, 112 for Lomachenko.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Now, Daniel. I got your point. Daniel, we got your point. Daniel, I got your point. Now I gotta.
I know because I know you got. No, you don't got my point. No, you don't got my point.
I just said I did. I just said. You know what? Hold on. Hey, hold on. Hey, D. It's too late at night. It's too late at night for me. You go with Daniel. You go with Daniel because it's too late for me, man.
Daniel. I'm a Teofimo fan, bro. I called him to win the fight, but bro, look, put down the alcohol right now
You're a fucking idiot,
because
man.
listen, man, listen. You gotta chill out for a second. You going off, and we all agree with you. The scorecard was nuts, but you just gotta accept the fact that the right man won the fight. The scorecards, we agree, that was
The
off.
white man did not win. The 6 was in the whole time, brother. The 6 was in the whole time, and I knew it when they hollered out those bullshit ass scorecards. But I'm listening to you. I
So
don't
let
see
me
what
ask you
guys
this,
saw.
Daniel. How much money did you lose? How much did you lose, buddy? Tell the truth. 500,
He lost.
1,000.
What was the first scorecard? Was it 119, 112, or what was it? Because that was
119, 101,
It wasn't
119,
any knockdowns,
109.
so it wasn't 119, 112. 119
whatever
to
it was,
109,
whatever
buddy.
the first scorecard
119,
was,
109.
idiot. You know what the first scorecard was, idiot, and I thought it was for Loma.
Hey, Daniel, do you realize, Daniel, do you realize you're the only one of the few people who are saying Loma won, and you're one of the only few people here on this panel calling. Hold on, and you're one of the only people. You're one of the only people calling. You're one of the only people calling. You're one of the only people calling other people's names. You're being impolite too. Nobody's being impolite with you. You're the one that's being impolite.
You idiots don't know anything about boxing.
Yeah, but why? Okay, hold on. Daniel, let me ask you this. Let's say we don't know anything about boxing. Why do you have to say idiots? You're this, you're losers. Or you're like, if you're actually superior, why do you have to insult?
I'll tell you why.
Tell me.
Because if they would have gave that, here's the prime example. If they would have said Loma won that fight, you idiots would be on here praising Loma.
I'm not gonna take that shit from you.
Yeah, me neither, man. Neither am I.
Daniel, listen, I will say this. Look, listen, Daniel, I will say this. Calm down, Daniel.
Missing all of those shots.
Man.
All right, listen, this guy, recognize. Go ahead, recognize.
What I would say is that I was watching the fight with 3 friends, right? Me and 2 others, 2 brothers, and one guy had Loma winning. But we've been watching boxing long enough, and we got pretty good experience in watching boxing and participating in it as well. And I didn't come away with that feeling the way you did, that it was clearly Lomachenko won.
Because you're blind. Evidently, you're blind.
Blind to what, though? Daniel, what am I blind to? What am I blind to? What did I miss?
You're blind to the fact that Lopez...
Yeah, I think Percez got the right idea here. This guy's going on. All right, Daniel, thank you for your call. Daniel, thank you for your call. We gotta go. All right, geez.
Can I say something real quick, please?
Yeah, but let me just really preface that. I think that guy was clearly on the sauce. Go ahead.
He likes Loma.
Look, man. Look. If this were an amateur fight, which it wasn't, I could maybe see Loma getting 17 to 16 decisions. Even maybe if it were a street fight and a whole bunch of us were watching this shit and we walked away, we'd probably be thinking it was a draw. We'd be like, no one really got the best out of anybody. But Teofimo won more round. This is professional boxing. He had the game plan. He implemented it. He dominated action. He dictated the pace. He pushed Loma back. He never looked, except for moments here and there, he never looked like he was getting fucked up. It looked like he might get knocked out, but he persevered. And for the majority of the fight, Loma was the one.
Exactly. And see, this is coming from people who picked Loma to win. We're not gonna stay here and say, you know what I mean? So this guy, but then this is the thing. When people say that we're Loma cocksuckers, let me tell you something, man. You don't know who you're talking to, because we're giving we know what we saw. We're boxing fans. We're not gonna make excuses for Loma.
And look, I'm not trying to tap myself in the back, BDA, but this is what I will say. Okay, what happened in the second half of the fight is what I thought was going to happen, with the exception of the first half, and the first half dictated the last half because he didn't have enough energy to do what he wanted to do, which was to, like D said, from I forgot what round he said, but he said that he thought he was going to pour it on him. He said, "It's starting to look like he's going to pour it on him." Yeah. So I think that we're just, to call us crazy. I mean, come on, bro. I'm a Lomachenko fan, bro.
Okay, Gonzalo,
can I say something, BDA?
Yes, please. I want to hear from you.
Yeah,
yes.
Look. Juan Manuel Marquez had Lomachenko winning widely, and he knows more about boxing than me. He's a legend, right? But just because Marquez had Lomachenko winning doesn't mean that I agree with Marquez.
Exactly.
But I'm not also going to call him an idiot. I'm not going to call him an idiot, but I think he's
well,
wrong.
I'll
That's
call
his
him an
opinion.
idiot then. Well, I'll call him an idiot.
Well, what I'm trying to say is, by you calling people idiots, it's not like a good thing to do, man.
Yeah, but
No, it's
Gazelle,
not.
the guy was drunk.
But if
The
he
guy
had
was drunk.
Lomachenko winning that fight, he is an idiot. Because no one on this planet had Lomachenko winning that fight. Look, I'm a Lomachenko fan. I'm hurting right now because I thought if you're going to go out in your shield. This fucking. I mean, it was lackluster. Just
all right.
There was an arrogance to his performance that I just
So
didn't
come
like.
on, man. Like, look, let me say something about Loma, please. Look, if Floyd Mayweather would never get in the ring with someone that's much bigger than him, hits harder, and is naturally, in that division, is a fast counterpuncher. Floyd Mayweather would have never fought anybody like that. Right? And if he were forced to fight a guy like that, he would run for 12 rounds, period. And Loma did run a little bit in that fight, no doubt. He ran a lot in the first half, no doubt about it. But then he came to fucking war, and he did what he had to do to see if he could stand up to this guy physically. Loma had all the skill to beat this dude. He couldn't stand up to him physically. Problem is that Teofimo's skills are top notch too, and size really made the difference because he was good enough to fend off this better skillful fighter. It wasn't his skill that made the difference. I give Teofimo Lopez credit. Like, I underestimated his boxing skill, but he never really showed this shit either. Like, this was a great performance. He never really done this. So I wasn't gonna just be like, oh,
Yeah,
he got
but
it.
don't you just feel a bit shortchanged, Precise? That Lomachenko.
I was not. I feel like I was wrong, bro. I feel like I was wrong about Teofimo's skill. I still think Loma is a badass. Everything I said about him is correct. I just think I underestimated Teofimo. That's all that it is. Come on, man. No one in boxing is gonna step up to a dude that's that much bigger and that good and not get their ass whooped. Let's just keep it real, man. There's nobody in boxing right now. Teofimo couldn't go up to, say, not 160, 147 and do this to guys up there. No, he
like Earl Spence.
Exactly. So
he can't do that to Earl Spence.
140, he's gonna be in competitive fights at 140.
Yeah.
If Pro Grey were down there, I might still pick Pro Grey, bro. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
anyway,
that would be a...
Loma is a badass. Let's not shit on Loma, man. Loma is a badass. Because there ain't no fucking dude in boxing that would have stepped to a motherfucker that size and tried to knock him the fuck out, man. Loma is a badass.
And I told people on the show and my own videos, I said that Loma's gonna get to the haters. He's gonna give you your opportunity because he fights the best competition. He's gonna fight all of them.
Great point.
And he's gonna give you that opportunity if you don't like him.
Hey Jimmy, go ahead and then we gotta get to the phone calls because I got an appointment with the urologist tomorrow. My new pump came in, so we gotta do this first. Go ahead.
I was gonna say now I realize why they're saying they can't stay hanging around at 130. I mean 135. That dude's back. The reason why Loma couldn't, he just didn't have the kid's literally so wide. Shoulder width, his lats was so wide. The few times Loma went to step to angle him, the kid was just too. It was that split second he needed to get around that width. He was able to catch up with, and that was I was chatting with Steve, and that's what he said. That's right, because I asked him, why are you picking Lopez? And he said, dude, he's just a little too big. He's not gonna be able to turn him. He's just too big. And I was like, and that was Steve's point. He says, I'm a huge Loma fan, but he says this kid, and he said exactly what Precise said too. But he said, let me see. Just imagine fucking Floyd Mayweather taking on a monster, literally almost twice the width back, you know what I mean? And he knew that he was so big and strong, he was going to get croaked out if he got caught clean in the first 4 or 5. I thought he would do a little bit more, but to step up and go into the oven with that kid that big who can hit and got quick hands, man. Again, my stock went for Lopez coming out in the 12th round. That was the round to me that got that kid's hand raised. He took that round. But for me, my respect for Lomachenko's even more. I'm like, this kid's taking on like monsters. Like this kid, he just fought what I think is going to be the next 140-pound world champion. He just fought him tonight.
I don't know
you know
about
what I
that.
mean?
Yeah.
And again, props to both. I just think it was just a little too big for him to be able to work his magic. But watch him go down to 130, and he will turn those motherfuckers like a kid jumping a turnstile.
Well, that will remain to be seen, and I want to talk about that Teofimo Lopez, what the future holds for him. Like Bucho said earlier, he said they only come out at night, and it is past the witching hour. So let's go to the phone lines, I should say, see who's there. 949, you're on the air. 949.
About goddamn time. I've been on the line for about an hour. Good evening, gentlemen. You guys are always wrong, and I love trolling you guys, but I'm going to do it respectfully. You know, these other callers that get on the phone and talk disrespectful to you gentlemen, which you guys are in my top pound for pound 5 boxing YouTube content creators. You know, you guys are some of the best, even though I mostly disagree with you guys. I'm so happy that Lopez whipped.
Does this guy sound like a fruit or? Hold on, let him finish.
You know, you picked against.
Yeah, go ahead. Caller 949, you're still on the air, man.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, you're dropping out. You're dropping out. We can hear you now. Go ahead. And make it fast, please, because we got a lot of phone calls and you're filibustering. Go ahead.
Okay, all I'm going to say, guys, is I love the fact that you guys are wrong. Okay? You guys are picking Lomachenko all week long. That's why I bet, you know, you guys cost me a lot of money. Because I was about to dump $1,000 on Lopez, but since I listened to your guys' show, right? Yesterday, I think I listened to it today. You go, Loma, right? I only put $100 on Lopez. Okay? I could have took my wife and kids out to Disneyland. Instead, we're going down the street to a miniature golf course because you assholes don't know boxing. Okay? And whoever that Kevin guy is, he's an anti-Semitic asshole, okay? And come over to the LGBT.
That's a lady. That is not a man.
Yeah, that's a woman. Hold on. Hey, 949. What do we call you, 949? For the next time you call in.
You guys call me Keith Wharton. I'm in a super chat all day long. I'm on the screen right
now. Okay, are you 949? Is that from San Francisco? 949. Is that from San Francisco? Because the guy sounds a little bit like he's got a little I don't know, what do you call it? Flair to his voice, if you know what I mean.
Sugar in his tank.
You know why I said that's a woman?
I think it's a woman, yeah.
But you know why I say that? It's because he buttered us up, so we like listened to him bitching to us, basically.
Yeah.
If you don't like the show, it's.
No, you know what? There was
I haven't been on the show. I haven't been on the show for like about a year, so I don't know how to predict the record. But whenever we predict the fights with this usual panel, we've done very, very well.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I'm glad to admit we were wrong. I was wrong for damn sure. But
that's why the reason why I say I think it's a gay guy, not necessarily a woman. It's because of the passive aggressiveness. It's like I love, like you said, he has to butter us up and say I love the show, but he hung up.
Even Jefferson, who picked T.O. to win this fight by knockout. He even said himself that there was moments in the fight where he thought that, you know, Loma just found his rhythm. He was going to pour it on him. Yeah. So we all make picks. We put it on the line for entertainment. Okay. Like I want to know what I bet you he would lie and say he's never gotten a prediction wrong. But I guarantee you that's not even true. I bet you
he's still on the line. Yeah, he's still on the line. Let's get. I want to get some common ground though, because he says he thinks Kevin is an anti-Semite. What is it about Kevin that makes you think he's an anti-Semite?
One never knows when the homosexual is about.
Yeah, you're still there, caller. Go ahead, man. 949, you're still on the air, man.
He's from California. That's California, bro. 949.
Yeah. All right. He's still there, but he's not.
Let him go, BDA.
Yeah, okay. All right. Thank you for calling in 949. Shout out to Rod Nell, who just donated with the super chat. And he says, I'm watching the post conference. Lopez said, if you want to be Money May, you have to be Pretty Boy Floyd first. Told you Lopez reminds me of him. All right. Shout out to Rod Nell. Didn't really quite decipher that comment, but all right.
Well, I want to see when Teofimo goes up in weight, will he fight like Floyd Mayweather?
Right, yeah.
Hey, recognize fucking Devin Haney's gonna be barking up a storm, man. Just watch.
Yeah, listen, this is boxing, bro. This is entertainment to make money. No matter how you get, how many, if you get the belt through email, it doesn't matter. As long as you're in the mix.
By the way, Atheism Sucks in the chat room is saying, learn gematria and numerology. Yeah, you do that, man. Let's see if that works out for you. 773, you're on the air. 773.
The guy said I'm anti-Semitic because I said who controls boxing.
Oh my God!
How did you make it to the top of the list? If you called in before, you're supposed to be at the bottom. All right, Kevin, I'll talk to you later, right, man? Because, actually, I'll let you defend yourself.
I'm gonna make it quick.
Yes.
I'm gonna make it quick.
Yes.
So I want to talk about the fight exactly. Those people say he gave the early rounds up. The early rounds were relatively close. It's not like he was rocking them. He was hurting them. He's not like he was trapping him against the corner of the ropes. It was just, they were really relatively close rounds. The rounds that were not relatively close was the middle to the end rounds, 6 through 11. Lomachenko clearly won those rounds. He battered him. He wobbled him multiple times, snapped his head back. It actually looked like Teofimo was going to fold. It looked like he was getting ready to get knocked out.
All right, Kevin, I got you. Now, can I tell you what's funny, though, is that you called in and you didn't even, instead of defending yourself against the anti-Semite claims, you continued talking about the fight. So, that was more important than your reputation. But go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Well, when it comes to
He's
that,
probably a Semite himself.
That's just a fact. You can look at Bob Arum. It's people like Bob Arum, Weisfeld, Letterman, Max Kellerman that run.
All right, Kevin. This is too late. All right, Kevin. I gotta boot you, man. I gotta boot you because it's too late at night. We already. I thought he was gonna say something new. All right, let's go to 3, 2, 1. You're on the air. 3, 2, 1.
That's a Florida
what's
number.
up, guys?
Florida,
What's up, man?
Oh, am I on?
Yes, you're on.
Don't ask me how I know all this thing.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so I was it was a great win from Teofimo-Lopez. I think their corner had a great game plan. This fight kind of reminds me of Danny Garcia and Lamont Peterson. Only unlike Lamont Peterson, Loma didn't turn it up like that in the late rounds enough to warrant the fight. 115, 113 to Lopez. I think that's the only scorecard you could make because all the rounds seem pretty clear cut. But, honestly, to me, I'm a big Lomachenko fan, but this fight, I looked at this as the litmus test for whether or not Lomachenko deserves to be called great. And, we got our answer. He's a very good fighter. He's an elite fighter of his era, but a great fighter would have sunk that win. Let's be real. A great fighter.
No,
would have been
not
down
necessarily. He's a great fighter. He's a great fighter. He's an awesome fucking fighter.
Lomachenko's great, bro. Stop it. Lomachenko's great, man.
I'm a big dude. See, that's the thing. I'm I've been the biggest Lomachenko fan since his career. I saw him when he fought at Orlando Salido. That's when I became a big fighter. If people want to call him great, that's cool. But for my standards,
those are not arguments, bro. Bro, those are not arguments.
Right.
Saying you're a fan, saying you're a fan, that doesn't mean that's not an argument. Whether he's a good or bad fighter, saying I'm a fan. If you are a fan, you would give the dude props for whooping ass, man.
Top of his class
He was a little dude against
era.
the big dude. Come on, man, relax.
When you look at the pool of all the professional fighters who are called great, you know what I'm saying? That's a weighty term. And I feel like the Teofimo-Lopez fight, to me, that was the litmus test. It's if he got past this,
who's great?
He's great. He could pull a Roy Jones Jr. afterwards, and he's still a legend. But to me, it's he's just a very good pro, an elite fighter of his era. And hats off to him. I'm saying his career is still going. He could still make things happen. But to me, this was a big litmus test for his legacy.
Well, you know what?
Well, of course it was. You can't put Lomachenko. I've said this from the very beginning. Don't ever put Lomachenko anywhere near a Pacquiao. They're just not that kind. He's just not that kind of Pacquiao would whoop Lomachenko's ass. For real. Old Pacquiao, too. But Pacquiao is one of the greatest of all. He is arguably the greatest fighter of all time. Nobody fucking can stand up to Pacquiao. Not even fucking Mayweather. It's ridiculous.
Well, listen, Go ahead, caller.
I'm saying for like modern standards, Pacquiao is a guy I would say is an all-time great. But that's what I'm saying. The bar is set really high. You know,
Pacquiao is a 2%er.
Hoopla.
Listen, let's put it
What's
this way.
that?
Pacquiao is a 2%er and Lomachenko is a 10%er. That doesn't mean he's
Great
not
point.
like there's a lot of people that can't do or will never do again what Lomachenko did. But he ran into a guy and he could, Pacquiao, again, this is the reason why certain fighters are great because they have physical tools that they can use. Pacquiao had explosive hand speed and power that he somehow managed to carry over all the way to 147. Lomachenko was never that type of fighter. He was the type of fighter that would break you down. He wasn't dropping people within the first 3 rounds like Pacquiao did. But listen, caller, you made some good points, man. What?
I'm just saying, for me, in that 11th round, I was if Loma would have sunk it and got him out of there, to me, that would have been some Leonard Hearns shit. That would have been some put him right in the history books. And I mean, he is in the history books. He's a great fighter. But I mean, if you listen, let's be real. All the hoopla around him, and this guy's been like my favorite guy. On YouTube, I'm accused of being a fanboy and dick sucker for him day in, day
You are a
out.
fanboy. You are a fanboy because that's exactly.
You're
Let
a
me
fair weather
explain.
fan. That's what you
Exactly.
are.
Exactly.
It's like the Triple G effect. Like Triple G loses a close fight that could have went either way, and he's a bum. He's never been one of the all-time greats.
Did I ever say bum? Did I
No,
ever
I'm not.
say any of
I'm
that
being. I'm sorry. What?
What's up?
Anyway, listen. The point is, because we got to move on to other calls here, but look, your point is well taken if he would have pulled it off. But then also, there's a flip side to the coin is, let's see what Teofimo Lopez does with his career, because it could result that he's one of the best of all time, and he had a substantial weight advantage too as well over Lomachenko. So it could be a couple of factors in there as well. Yeah. But you gotta give Teo Lopez credit too, man. The guy dug deep. He was explosive. Yeah, and
I'm just saying, Lopez's career is still young. He can make some, I'm just saying, to me, as it stands right now in this space, all these things can change within, another couple years. I'm just saying, for me, as someone who's a fan and who's always hearing, oh, he's an all-time great, one of the greatest all time. Let's be realistic. He's a
Who
very
said that?
good
Who said that when his career?
That's people that.
Okay,
yeah,
listen. If there are people saying that, of course they're over exaggerating. But here, I mean, I don't know. Maybe there is someone here that did that, but I don't remember anyone that said he's an all-time great. What we said was he has one of the best skill set we've ever seen. Me personally.
I'll say it. I think when it's said and done, Lomachenko is going to be considered an all-time great. I'll say it. Fuck yeah. Look, man. You tell me. Hold on. Let me make this point, please. Let me make this point. Let me make this point, please. Find me a fight where a naturally undersized guy runs away from a big dude and then takes him to the trenches in the late rounds and almost knocks him out. Like, find me another fight like that. You're not going to be able to do it. So what the fuck are we comparing this? Because most of the...
Precisely.
You cut out at that last part.
Yeah, you
he's
cut
a
off.
fanboy. Because he's a fanboy. That's a fanboy right there.
All right. Well, listen, caller, thank you for calling in, man. We're going to move on, but catch you in the next one, all right, fella? All right. Man, we got a lot of phone calls. Keith Morton just donated for the super chat. I think it's the San Francisco guy. He says, love the show, but Kevin sucks, just like your Loma prick. Your Loma pick. All right, so let's discredit Teofimo Lopez then.
Okay.
I don't get it. Let's go to the phone calls.
Because he had Teofimo all the way.
Listen, stop it. He's got to go watch a videotape of the 1989 Tony Awards. Leave him alone.
Like I said, man, just listen to D. Just listen to D. Jeff, who's confident. He's gonna knock him out.
929. You're on the air. 929.
Yo, what's up, BDA? It's Virtuoso. What's going on?
Oh,
guys?
Virtuoso. How you doing, man? What's on your mind?
What's up, Virtuoso?
Well, first and foremost, D, if you're listening, pass me the salt. I gotta eat this crow soup. This is turned out completely different than what I was expecting. Loma, I think was way too apprehensive, for the first 6 rounds, and Teofimo, and that just shows how Teofimo was able to implement, his style, of trying to look for the counterpunch, but he got off early, and I got to give credit to Mark. Shout out to Mark from Unrivaled Boxing, who pointed out that in order to really take control of the trenches, you got to be like lead hand dominant, and that's what I felt was Teofimo was able to do. I felt like his jab was probing, and so for the first 6 rounds, I mean, Loma just took too much time trying to look for an angle to try to get inside, and Loma Teofimo just kept it honest with speed and power, Credit to him, for digging in deep and try to get inside and withstand, some punishment of his own, for Teofimo. But Loma really, I think he took too much time. I mean, 7 rounds. By 7 rounds, I'm thinking, okay, he's gonna have to knock him out, and that's what he was looking to do. But he lost so much energy because he was just kept backing up and circling away from the power, kept circling to his right. He's supposed to be like outside of his lead foot, and he just couldn't do that. And I got to give credit to Teofimo because he dictated, his offense. He went and got out first, which is what you're supposed to do.
Absolutely,
now,
man.
I don't want to hear any fucking crying and bitching and complaining about, it was a robbery. I don't give a fuck. Okay, maybe the scorecards reflected that, maybe the politics, the Eastern European always get screwed in Vegas. Okay, it's plausible. But still, you gotta take it off the judges' hands, man. They don't fuck around in Vegas, man.
Yeah. Now I'm surprised, man. I'm surprised that people are actually saying that Loma got robbed. I mean, that's going beyond the realm of reality. But listen, go ahead, Reganis.
Yeah.
Okay. So when the scorecards come up like that, like when Miguel Cotto fought Canelo Alvarez, right? A lot of people felt it was a robbery. Why? Because of the scorecards. It didn't reflect the fight. Like anybody who watched the fight knows, Canelo didn't win 11 rounds of that fight. Okay, and it's so when you look at the 119-109 for Tio versus Loma, people are saying, wait, what the fuck? What the fuck did you
exactly?
What's happening here? Now, look, I do agree that politics play a part in boxing, and that's for many different reasons. It could be he's not really a big star over here in this country, or we want the new star, we want the new guy to win if it's a close fight. And yeah, it's unfortunate these are the situations that happen. But Lomachenko in the first 6 rounds, if the judges were looking for rounds to give to Tio, I mean, he kind of made it easy, And Tio's credit, he obviously did his part.
Hey, by the way, Virtuoso, final point, because we got to move on. We're running out of time on the blog talk, all right? And we got like about 15 phone calls here.
Okay, the people complaining, calling Lomachenko a high job, grow up, man. To me, he's a generational talent. But going forward, I think Teofimo should stay at 135 because he has a tremendous upside. There's a lot of years ahead of him. And they can build a lot of great fights. Now the notables at lightweight, they're gonna have to come to him.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man. Absolutely,
right, man. And let me say this: as an enduring American, man, listen, I'm proud of him. Even though I picked Loma to win, I'm proud of him.
All right. Thank you for your call, Virtuoso, and I appreciate your input. And call back next time. All right, man. All right, let's go to 510. You're on the air. 510. You're on the air.
Hello?
Yeah, 510. You're on the air.
This is Ross. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Ross Clot, the one and only 150-0 in debates. I beat everybody in any debate, and any racist idiot, I beat them in the debate too. Let me say something real quick to the clowns who've been calling. All right, Lomachenko lost this fight, but it wasn't no wide margin. Everybody's crying over the judges' score. Cry over the judges' scoring if the wrong guy got the decision. Lomachenko lost the early rounds. He wasn't throwing enough punches. And yes, he was catching a lot of punches, and he was blocking a lot of punches, but he wasn't throwing any punches. Second of all, he was getting hit with a lot of body shots that a lot of people seem to ignore. Y'all been on the show right now for more than an hour, and I have not heard not one person talk about any of the body shots Lopez was landing. And number two, Lomachenko started to turn on the heat because Lopez started getting tired, but that second win kick in when you're younger. And in the 12th round, Lomachenko was getting pieced up and hurt because he was tired. He was getting hit with a lot of body shots. I don't know why these people are calling in here crying and complaining because Lopez lost. I mean, won. Lomachenko was a good fighter. He's going to always be a good fighter. Even if he retired right now, he would be a good fighter. But the best man won tonight, and that's just that. So can y'all please stop sucking on his Ukrainian dick? Get it out your mouth. Loma wasn't the better man tonight, and he looked like a piece of crap, all lumped up at the end of the fight because he was pathetic looking at the end because he knew that he couldn't figure him out early. If he had figured him out within the first or the third round, then maybe he would have coasted off to a win. He won 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, and he lost round 12. Lopez won the first early rounds. It doesn't matter how many punches landed and missed and counted. You got to go by the aggressor if that's the case. And Lomachenko wasn't the aggressor.
All right, now, Rascal, you're filibustering. You're filibustering.
Let me talk.
I got your, but we already got you. I got your main points. Listen, I got your main points because I gotta move on.
Hold on.
All right, go ahead, but make it quick, please. Make it quick. What's that?
Lopez is not the undisputed champion. Haney still has the belt that was given to him because Lomachenko made a mistake.
Oh, the email belt?
Taking the franchise belt.
Rascal, I agreed with everything you were saying. But now I gotta cut you off. Fuck the belts, man. You know, there's too many boxing fans, and I think you're doing that too, man. That you put too much emphasis on the belts. Look, Teofimo Lopez beat the man. He is the man. Who cares who has the WBO, the IBO, the silver belt, the franchise belt, the cockhold belt? He's the main guy. If somebody wants to be the big lightweight guy, they gotta go to him.
I hope Teofimo pulls Haney's whole card, not because he's not undisputed, because he is undisputed. But I hope he pulls Devin Haney's whole card, because I guarantee you Devin Haney ducks Teofimo if he asks for that fight next. I guarantee you that. He's not ready.
This dude's fighting fucking Gamboa, man. Stop talking about Devin Haney. Get out of here with that,
father already said they don't want to fight brawlers. So you're not going to see the Haney fight. It's never going to happen.
I wish it happened. I mean, I would love to see Haney versus Teofimo Lopez.
You guys got to look at the interviews. His father already said they're not fighting any brawlers right now. So brawlers mean punchers.
All right. Well, listen, Rasta, thank you for the energy. You always bring it, and we'll catch you in the next one, all right, man?
Yeah, thank you. And I want to say, I know the chat room misses me, but they could all suck a dick.
Oh, wait, now, see, that type of language, even at night, I can't go for that. I had to hang up on it. Thank you, Rascal, for your call.
Hey, BDA.
Yes.
Hey, BDA, remember the Cracker Jacks? I heard the WBC was handing out belts. And the Cracker Jack boxers.
Fucking Gonzalo has to throw one in there when I least expected, man. All right, I want to get a couple of panelists here. Anything you want to say before we go to the next callers, guys? Because I don't want to keep...
Yeah, I want to say there's a hell of a lot of Lomachenko hate going on out here. I don't even get it, man. Look, let me tell you something. If I don't think that this kid is great, what the hell would make me pick him over a Lomachenko? So basically, the dude just got beaten by an up-and-coming fighter. Now, I see it in him. He still has to prove more, but I see it in him. So if he let's see what Teofimo does. Because what if Teofimo is great? All of these people calling in, talking about Loma this, Loma that. No matter what happened in this fight, Lomachenko achieved something that no other boxer achieved in the history of the sport. What the fuck are you people talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even get it.
And you know what, D. Jefferson? And I'm happy for Teofimo because this pushes these young fighters to do the same and follow in his footsteps to challenge for what he's accomplishing.
Excellent point as well.
Yeah, for real, bro.
I see.
You know, listen, man, if Teofimo continues the schedule that he's been on the last two fights, there's gonna be a time where he loses. Okay, he's gonna lose, and you know what they're gonna do? He was a hype job. Prove that Lomachenko was a hype job. That's what they're gonna do. It's so
never gonna end.
So predictable.
Yeah, It's never gonna end. Jimmy wanted to say something too. Jimmy, go ahead.
Oh no, shit, that was a while ago. I kind of lost. I've been just listening to. Yeah, a lot of fucking hate, man. You knew it though. You knew if he won, if Lomachenko won. Not saying anybody in this panel, but the people, we know who they are. If Lomachenko won, he would have been. He would have, because he beat a prospect. But if fucking he lost, he's a hype job. You know what I mean? So it was a lose-lose for him. But I think fucking the kid showed mad heart. He took some big shots from a big kid. The dude was just. He was just too wide. The kid was just too wide. The length was there, Steve. Everything Steve said was right, and I was cursing him. And he just could. Yeah, he was trying to figure him out through the first fucking 6 rounds. He just couldn't. He was trying to step around him. And Lomo, I mean, I'll tell you, that kid fought the right fight. He was keeping that left foot right where it needed to be, whether it was missing with the shots. I don't think he was really caring about that so much. Whether it was catching the gloves, he was keeping it all, trying to catch his range. So I saw Lopez think more than I've ever seen him think, obviously. I don't think we've ever seen, even never had to. So he checked a lot of boxes tonight on top of his natural ability. Yes.
Hey, Jimmy, and D, you remember when I said what the fuck was going on with Lomachenko, like basically circling to his right a little too much? I mean, he tried to stay away from it, but at times he seemed like to go there for some reason. And it's like, what the fuck's he doing? It's because of Tio's stance. If you looked at Tio's stance, he shortened his stance a little bit, just a little bit, and he tilted. He stand in a neutral stand. Even though he's a righty, he's got his arm kind of like where it's closer. That if Lomachenko his right, if Lomachenko goes to his right, he can shoot that off. Because I'm just looking at it right now. I'm looking at his stance. But when he stopped doing that is when he started getting caught by big shots. Because obviously he's tired. After the second half of the fight, you're just naturally tired. I mean, that's part of boxing.
And you know what? Also, those bursts going forward, where he's transitioning his body weight. As like you do when you're shifting. It was kind of Salido-esque in a way. He's not a pressure fighter, but those bursts, man, they're because he hits hard with both hands. So you got to think, with two hands, he can lay one and he can lay the other.
Yeah, and if Lomachenko was fighting at 130, he wouldn't have to spend the first 6 rounds trying to take as much as he possibly could off the dude's punches by just feigning and trying to get him tired mentally. He could start his attack a lot sooner. But again, you're avoiding a kid like, I mean, basically he's avoiding the next 140-pound champion. And like I said, my respect for that kid just grew. My admiration for Lopez as a fighter grew. The noise, all the other noise, dude. I'm really trying not to let it get to me now. I just see the source and I see where it's derived from. You know what I mean? Like. I said from the beginning, I said, listen, I'm thinking this is how it's going to go. I think he has still enough class. But Lopez stepped it up and had more than I gave him credit for. But I said, even in my opinion, my prediction, if it goes the other way and Lopez wins, I'm not going to be surprised at all because I'm betting on a feeling. I have a feeling that he's not at that level. And I was wrong in my feeling on that. He has and actually surpassed it. So I'm happy. You know what I mean? I know this fight bought a lot of, but that was some chest going on in there. Even though there was no punches going, that was chest foot. That was footwork, chest work, and he was avoiding those punches. And he was Lopez was getting tired. I'm telling you, man, when you throw a punch and miss, and even if you clip the shoulders a little or clip the glove a little, you're still missing. It takes so much energy because as much energy you are throwing into that punch, you now got to expend it, pulling it back. Mm-hmm. That's why when they say it just fucking takes your legs out. I hated missing because it really does. So Lomo was trying to make him miss himself tired because he knew he got cracked by those kids' big lats. He was going to get his head taken off. So, but again, just to fight that kid. I mean, if the people stop the hate and realize, look at the other people who are considered pound for pound. Floyd, does anybody here think Floyd would ever have taken on a monster like that 10 years younger than him?
Yeah,
just wouldn't have.
Somebody else made that point as well. But listen, we want to stick to the subject here for just the minute, and we got a lot of phone calls. I want to try to get through all the phone calls here. I don't think we're going to get through all of them in 10 minutes, but we'll try. We'll do our darnest. Hold on a second. Where did I fucking leave the page? All right. 612. You're on the air. 612. 612. You're on the air. 612. You're on the air, man. Going once. 612.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air. 612. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Oh, did you hear me?
Yes, the floor is yours, man. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, man. I was just saying it's a great fight. And we got to give both fighters the respect they deserve. You know, there's a lot of hate on Lomachenko because people are like, oh, he's the best, he's Ali and everything. But that's not his fault. That's his promoter fault and everything of that nature. And, you know, he went against a young bull and he took the test. And, you know, other fighters wouldn't take the risk, you know. Take the risk to lose to a person like, oh, he's a prospect and be ridiculed like he is. But I think Lopez is gonna move up, and I think Lomachenko gonna beat Devin Haney, Tank Davis, and Ryan Garcia and make it and cement his legacy. And I think he's gonna become undisputed. But it was just not today, you know. I think but we gotta give both fighters respect because like he ain't an all-time great fighter. Shit, Floyd. We always want to put people, we just want to see greatness so fast, like Floyd, Pacquiao. Floyd is a great, and Floyd did fight bigger fighters, by the way, anyway. But anyway, we can't take away from Floyd. He's just special. Them are special fighters, Floyd and Pacquiao. That's why we wanted to see them fight. We hate all we want. That's what we doing. That's what people doing to Lomachenko, talking about, oh, he ain't this. But people on the panel trying to take away from Floyd to boost Lomachenko up. We shouldn't do that. We should recognize greatness when we see it, you know, as fight fans.
I've talked up on this panel. I've talked up Floyd more than anybody, dude. I've said he put on one of the best performances I've ever seen in my life. So you know what I mean? So no, when I say that, I just say at 33, he wasn't fighting 23-year-olds with wide backs twice his size. Nobody would. Not just Floyd. Nobody would.
For Floyd to get credit, fight somebody like that, he would have had to fight Margarito for me, man. A bigger, stronger dude with the chin.
Hey, fellas, hold on. Everybody's talking over each other. Hold on. Let's get to the caller real quick. Caller, what?
He was at 36. He fought Canelo. He was
Canelo was 23 years old.
And he A-sided the shit out of him.
Come on, man. He drained Canelo. He took away his pills. He fucked Canelo up before the fight ever happened.
Listen. I don't want to talk about.
We got to understand. Floyd was super skilled. He come from a fighter family of fighters. The man was.
Oh, nobody's gonna argue that. Yeah, he's definitely a super skilled boxer.
Even Timofimo said, "Hey, you got to be pretty boy. Hey, when other fighters respect you as that, other great fighters understand how great you is. That's how great you is. You know."
Listen, when I think of Floyd, caller, yeah. You know? Caller, when I think of Floyd Mayweather, I don't even go to the Canelo. When I think of Floyd Mayweather, I don't even go to the Canelo fight. I go to the Corrales fight. Castillo, even though it was a close win, Cotto, even Pacquiao, even though the fight itself was lackluster, but they went head to head. I thought Mayweather won, and there's a lot better wins there than Canelo. But yeah, you're right. Look, listen, Mayweather's resume speaks for itself, man.
But I'm talking about like they saying he ain't fight bigger fighters, and Madonna was bigger than him, and Madonna hit way harder than Timofimo. Let's be real. You know, Floyd was taking them big, and he was older. He was 37.
Yeah, but I think their point is he never.
Yeah, but Madonna. Okay,
hold on.
First of all,
anyway, listen. Hold on. We're getting into Mayweather right now. That's not the point. The point is we got to give Teofimo Lopez his credit. He pulled this off. Yeah, listen. Teofimo Lopez, man.
No, I was just saying the other guy was talking about this. But anyway, Lopez. I want to see what he do afterwards. Then we can evaluate this loss. Like, if he go on and be great, can we really criticize Lomachenko? Not really. And Lomachenko, you know he's going to go on and do great things, you know, because, you know, he got that fighter mentality, you know.
Exactly.
And after the thing, but he ain't complain or nothing after the fight. He was like, hey, I couldn't get in my spots. And, you know, that's one thing. Lomachenko don't even speak English. People hate him because what other people say about him. I'm like, damn. I fell into it. I'm like, but no, I got to listen to a thing. He just want to be great. He said, I've been striving for this all my life. How can you hate somebody like that?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Great points, man. Listen, we got to move on because I'm trying to break a record here of jam-packing calls, but thanks again, man, and call back next time. All right, man?
Y'all have a good one, man.
You too, man. Take it easy.
Peace.
All right. I don't think we're going to make it, man. All right, we'll try to make it here because 4 minutes. All right, 919, you're on the air. 919.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air, 919.
Okay, I think Loma had a bad game plan. Him and his team had a bad game plan and waited too long.
Yeah,
with that.
I think I think we can all agree with that, caller. Were you surprised though that Lopez was able to pull out a good 12th round there?
At first, yes, but then I thought about it. No, because I think Top Rank sort of wanted Lopez to win, so they build up him. And I think Loma's team kind of bought into the power, so they didn't really commit to their offense as way as they should.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of that was Lomachenko's dad.
Well, listen, he tried his best. Yeah, he tried his best, but I think that the clear strategy was that they were trying to pace themselves to try to get Teofimo Lopez late, and that backfired.
I do think Lomachenko showed that he was the better fighter, but he did not win the fight. He showed that he was more skilled, but it was too little too late.
Yeah, well, that just goes to show you that, like I always say, I hate that skills pay the bills crowd, because this game, pro game,
sometimes
is
it does and sometimes it don't. In boxing,
exactly.
I said this before the fight. I said you could be better skilled. Sometimes the guy is just too strong for you. He's decent in skills himself.
I'm not just saying it. Yeah, exactly. I'm not just saying that it was.
What I'm saying is Loma can beat Lopez for sure.
Yeah, he could.
They just had a bad
I agree.
game
I
plan.
think he could too.
Well,
he
listen,
didn't do enough.
I got
in
you,
the
caller.
later rounds to show that he won the fight.
Mm-hmm. I got you, caller, man. Yeah, it's true, man. Hey, listen, maybe you never know down the line what happens. Stranger things have happened. Maybe there could be a rematch down the line. Anyway, 919. Thank you for calling in, man.
I think this hurts Loma's career very badly, and I don't know how he will recover from it.
Well, we'll see, man. 919, thank you for calling in, man. We got to move on to another call real quick before the phone lines shut down. Thank you for calling in, man.
All right.
Take it easy, man. All right, let's go to 161. You're on the air. 161.
It's a weird area code.
Yeah, I know. I hopefully it's not out of the country.
Hello,
otherwise, it's going to be... Yes, 161. You're on the air. Go ahead, please, fast, because we only got one minute,
me,
man.
I'm calling from Australia, man.
90 seconds.
Go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, 161. Go ahead.
Yeah, listen, I want to say one thing. Yeah, that Lomachenko is the most overrated fighter I've seen in my generation. Mate, the place I live in Australia, people tell me he's better than Duran, he's better than Sugar Ray Leonard, he's the best ever, he's better than Floyd. That's what people are saying. The general public consensus is that Lomachenko is one of the greatest ever. He is not. He is one of the most overrated fighters ever. He was getting chased around by a 23-year-old today. Can you believe that? Could you ever see
got slept by Hearns. Duran got slept by Hearns. He got slept. Have you ever watched any Duran fights? Duran got slept, folded up by Hearns in the 3rd round. Fuck out of here.
2nd round.
It doesn't matter. He had
My
the weight
bad.
to move up, and when he moved up in weight, he still won. What's his name? Lomachenko did not. Lomachenko is just he got exposed today by a 23-year-old, and people tell me his record 396-1.
Oh,
he was
he
fighting
did.
Ukrainian bus drivers in Ukraine to pad up that record. That is the most overrated record.
Okay.
but
well, we know where you're coming from. We know where you're coming. Where your heart is at.
I want to ask the caller something. Caller, let's say, because you're getting mad because people are saying that he's the best. This is why do you get so mad with them if you know that they're over exaggerating and they probably don't know what they're talking
He's
about?
not a boxing fan. He can't come up with his own conclusions. That's
The
why.
reason is because I've grew up watching boxing. Since I was knee high, I've been watching boxing.
My main question
why
is,
would you get influenced by the consensus that he's an all-time great?
Like football.
but why would you get? My question is, why do you get so worked up? Are you listening to me? Why do you get so worked up over what other people say?
Yeah. The reason I get worked up is because it's just a passion thing. I love boxing and I love talking about boxing, so I obviously get worked up. Like, some people think this guy's the best ever, better than Floyd. it's disrespectful to Floyd's career. It's disrespectful to compare him to Floyd. Floyd.
But when people say that, you have to take into consideration.
Yeah, he's not. I don't think he's listening, man.
Come on, man. Floyd was
Listen,
signing all these guys.
Listen,
Cotto.
caller. Listen, I hate when people just. You gotta get so worked up that you can't listen to what we're saying, man. Listen, caller, listen up, man.
Okay, I'll listen. I'll listen.
We had a guy here who used to say, and this was back in 2017, that Adonis Stevenson was the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. All right? And we had to hear this over and over until I actually finally caught a whiff of common sense, and I said, we got to get the hell out of here, away from this guy. We only got mad when the guy would keep bringing it up out of nowhere, because he would try to make it into we were talking about, for example, Muhammad Ali, and he would bring up Adonis Stevenson somehow. That's when we got pissed off. But for the most part, we were like, hey, that's his opinion. We're not going to get all worked up and start screaming over it. You feel what I'm saying? So my advice to you is...
No, I'm not screaming. I'm only screaming on the phone. Like, if you go on YouTube, Joe Rogan has his biggest podcast. He made a video saying Lomachenko might be the greatest boxer that ever lived.
Oh, but he's not a boxing fan, man.
Might. He said might. Do you speak English? He said he might. He didn't say he is. He said he might. Give him a chance. Go watch some of his fights. Let's follow this guy. Let's make boxing a great sport. He might be a great fighter. I guess he was wrong.
Well, Joe Rogan also said that Ronda Rousey was the greatest athlete on the planet.
Exactly.
You have guys like LeBron James running out there. So who gives a damn what Joe Rogan said?
Well, listen, I'm not going to totally discredit the guy, but what I'm saying is when it comes to boxing, it's not his forte.
But you see, Joe Rogan he's a casual. Look, he admits it.
Yeah, he used to watch boxing when he was growing up, but then
listen to him, and those people repeat what he says, and it comes to me. I'm just enjoying my time in a bar or whatever, and someone tells me, "Man, Lomachenko, he's the best ever. He would beat the shit out of Floyd." That's what people say.
Yeah, but you're whacking off right now. You're jerking off right now. That's fucked up. Like,
you're jerking
yeah.
off. Wait,
That's
precise.
just jerking off.
What do you mean by that?
Huh?
All right. No, sorry. I was asking precise what he meant by what. Anyway,
Can I explain what I mean by that?
Yes, please.
He just got diarrhea of the mouth. He's just getting off right now. That's all he's doing. He's not talking boxing. He's just getting off right now. It's fucking disgusting. Boot this dude. Come on, man.
Okay, wait, hold on. I'm not gonna let you. I'm not let you disrespect
Let me enjoy my time. Anyway, I'll go off and I'll let the next guy call. All right, peace out.
All right, peace out, man.
So look, I don't want to shit on this guy too much. I'll just say this quick. There's a lot of uneducated boxing fans, and they get influenced by what they perceive is the consensus. Okay, some fans over exaggerate. I've heard people say Floyd Mayweather would knock out Sugar Ray Leonard, knock out Tommy Hearns, and Marvin Hagler. He would beat all of them. Like, okay, maybe I think they're off, but they're Floyd Mayweather fans. For him to say he's the most overrated fighter that he's ever saw, it's because he's being influenced by, I guess there's some Loma fans where whatever country he's from that are saying that Lomachenko is the greatest thing. He's better than everybody that ever fought. Okay, but you as an educated boxing fan should know, you should have your own opinion. That doesn't influence you, and judge the fighter yourself. What do you think about him?
I also recognize that when you're having a few drinks and then you see somebody that maybe you envy or has done a whole lot more in your life than you have, then he loses, you kind of feel sometimes good about yourself because it makes you feel more human or something.
Right.
Yeah. Listen, man, I tried. Sure.
No, I was going to say, that's Gonzalo's made a great point. People attach themselves to sports stars and live vicariously through them. What I was going to say to this fella from Australia, which I hope they don't charge him up the ass for that call, because, like I said, if just this block talk, if you're outside of North America, eesh. But anyway, I was going to say...
He's not from Australia either. Like, he should just shout out his fucking motherland, because he ain't from Australia.
Yeah, I was going to say, that accent, that sounded Somalian. But, this guy was going to tell him, look, life gets a lot easier when you stop caring what other people think. I know it's hard to do, and you can't always do it 100%. It's impossible. We're all human beings. We get upset about things, but... Over boxing, man, with everything that's going in the world, you're upset that some guy thinks Loma is above Muhammad Ali, man. I mean, come on, man. You gotta find other worthwhile things to get angry over than fucking boxing. Let's go to the phone calls real quick, because we can still activate them, even though we're already past the... Yes, 314. You're on the air. 314.
What is up, guys? Hey, this is Wes. Man, I had a couple quick things. I know you're in a rush. But I mean, I thought they were breaking him up way too quick for one. Like it was every time Loma came in on him, and I thought Loma had a chance to do some stuff. They broke him up immediately.
Yeah, I did notice that a little bit, but yeah, go ahead.
Like then also like the scorecards are bad, but I mean, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. I mean, I agree with them. I think it was like 7-5 to Lopez, but after that 12th round, I mean, I would have probably given it a draw, but you know, I can see it going either way. But damn, I just hope they run it back. Is what I hope. That's what. But I think that Lopez is going to run to 140 because I don't think he wants that again. When with Loma that is like looking for revenge.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if Loma runs to 140 to fight him. I think if Loma would have, everybody keeps talking about him going to 130. Would anybody be surprised if he would have beat Teofimo and he would have said, "Fuck it, I'm going to try 140"? That's the kind of guy he is.
Yeah, if he would have won,
he needs to go back down. But guys,
I've always thought that the whole plan was to keep them both winning, and then like they could, and then him and Terrence Crawford in 3 or 4 years could have their big bout. Is what I always assumed was the plan.
No, now it's going to be Teofimo. He's more likely to fight Terrence Crawford.
To fight Terrence
Crawford?
Crawford?
Yeah, this, but that's
one
what
day,
I thought
one
was
day.
the plan.
Whoa. Yeah,
Crawford
that
would be too old.
Yeah, I mean,
precise. I think you're right about that. I think that's more of a possibility.
Yeah.
But like that would be the Mayweather Pacquiao the next, in a couple years.
No, hopefully
is what
not.
I thought what the plan would have been.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Precise.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I'm not trying to take anything away from Teofimo, no doubt about it. But if that fight was at 130, for example, if Teofimo had to make that weight, or maybe somewhere closer to that, more of a chance Loma stops him late, right? So there was a lot of factors in this fight that played in Teo's favor, right? I'm not trying to take shit away from him, but I'm just saying, Loma's a badass for giving all these advantages up, physical advantages up, and still coming to fucking war. That was pretty great, man. I earned a lot more respect for both guys actually after this fight, especially for putting it on the line like that.
I agree with that. I ended up coming out with respect for Tio. I always have respect for Loma, and I knew he was going to go for it. But just it is what it is, man. He started a little too late. He fought a big dude who stood his ground and fought big, which was smart.
Absolutely.
Hey, fellas. Oh, I'm calling it a night, man. It's 3 a.m. I'm tired, bro.
Hey, good call, D. Good prediction, man. You schooled all of us, so good job, bro.
Man, that shit was amazing. He fucking fooled me too. Teofimo fooled everybody. That was a good performance, man. Y'all take it easy, fam.
AD, I gotta go onto your stream, like I promised. You'll be getting a super chat soon.
Oh yeah, you did promise that. Yeah.
All right. Appreciate you guys, man.
AD, again.
I promise. I took.
AD,
Yeah.
these nuts, bro. Good night.
He said these nuts.
I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I'm just kidding, bro.
Hey, congratulations to G Jefferson. He picked the right guy to win. And go check him out at Speak Your Mind Sports Talk, where he streams on the daily.
Gonzalez said these nuts.
Yeah, I know. He was trying to do a play on words. Yeah, but yeah, check out Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. That's D's channel. He's there on the daily streaming. It's a good stream. I'm there not most of the time, but whenever I can, or at least in the chat room. So go check it out. Wes, anything else you want to say before we move on?
Man, where's this put Devin Haney? Do you think that TL moves up, or you think that we get that fight, or do you think he sits back? I don't have any faith in Haney. I think he's gonna keep playing the silly games. Same with Tank. I don't think he's gonna go after anybody either. Or you think they're hoping that Teofimo just moves up and then they break all the belts up again?
That's probably what's gonna happen, man. Yeah, if you and Devin Haney,
that's terrible.
I know, man, but
they should be going straight at him.
Well, let me ask the panelists here. Pete, are you still there? Been quiet a while. All right, recognize. What do you recognize? What do you think? Teofimo Lopez goes up to 140 right away, or do you think? Yeah.
Well, look. There's always a possibility for the rematch. He asks for more money, right, and he gets it. There's also maybe what Precise said. Maybe he calls out that, or he said he hopes that he calls out Devin Haney to see if he's really serious. Let's say he is. I could see that fight happening. But more likely, I'm gonna say that he goes up to 140. We'll see. We'll see how he handles that if he does.
All right.
I have a feeling he's gonna have some problems there. He's gonna have some problems there.
All right, listen, Wes.
I totally agree.
All right, listen, Wes, we got to move on, but thank you for calling in, man, and enjoy the rest of your night. All right, man?
I'll call next time. All right.
Take it easy, man.
All right,
that was
bye-bye.
Wes. I think it's the guy who does prison videos on YouTube. Let's go to... okay, 646. You're on the air, 646.
York.
646.
Yo, am I
yes.
on?
Yeah, you're on the air, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, man. I'm tired. It's fucking 3 o'clock in New York City.
I got you, man.
Yo,
I got you.
This fight got me thinking about prime Pacquiao versus prime Lomachenko. If it's 126, 130, 135, I think Pacquiao would have fucked him up, man. It's crazy. Because Pacquiao got the speed. He got the footwork. Powers on him. I think he hits way harder than Teofimo. I haven't seen Teofimo really hurt any high-level opponent. You've seen Pacquiao drop and hurt high-level opponent. I don't know. I think Pacquiao
What weight,
fucked
caller?
up Loma.
What weight?
126.
Like 126, 130, 135, around those weight. Pacquiao, yo, do this YouTube, Freddie Roach and Pacquiao training for Morales rematch. Pacquiao looked like a monster there, man. Pacquiao.
Dude, all of us watched that
like
fight
Teofimo
live, bro.
Teofimo hits hard with one punch. He'll counter you one punch. He'll pull back, but Pacquiao hits hard with every punch. Even Timothy Bradley said it in one of the interviews. And Pacquiao can punch you off the pivot. When Lomachenko's pivoting, Pacquiao can punch you off balance. I don't know. Pacquiao would have been a huge problem for Loma. What do you guys think?
Guys, take it away.
That would have been a crazy, crazy fight. Because two southpaws that know how to move, changing the angles, trading shots to the body, man. That would have been a spectacular fight. That's all.
At that weight, that's a 50-50 fight, man. Great fight. Pacquiao wasn't the same kind of monster once he put on all that weight, popped them pills, and fucking went to work on these welterweights. That was a different Pacquiao. Let's just keep it real. But at 126, that's a 50. Because Lomachenko would show Pacquiao shit he's never seen, and vice versa. Oh man, that would be a wonderful.
To the caller, I would say.
Pacquiao had. Pacquiao had the power advantage. I think I think in this fight, Teofimo, I think the power had Lomachenko thinking. If Teo didn't have the power, I think Loma would have walked over him. So I think with Pacquiao had the footwork and the hand speed, but also the power. I think that would have given Loma a lot of trouble.
But at
one fight
26, Pacquiao wasn't a counterpuncher, and his right hand wasn't developed yet.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I'm saying in their prime. I'm saying if they were in their prime and they fought at 126, you get what I'm saying? Not like if he was at 26 and not in his prime.
Pacquiao all day, bro. Pacquiao all day.
Yeah, I would take Pacquiao.
In the prime,
I look at it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm good.
No, I was going to say that. Look, at 130 or 135, I would take Pacquiao to beat Lomachenko. Now, if you say, who do I think will give him a harder fight? Now, I only saw Pacquiao fight one time at 135, and I thought that was his best weight. Like, I know he fought David Diaz, and he's really like a nobody, but the way he pieced up David Diaz was just unreal. So I think he beats Lomachenko, but I think Loma gives him a harder fight than Teofimo. I think he knocks out Teofimo in a very bad fashion because of the stylistic, the way they fight. Like, okay, so he's gonna fight Lomachenko. He's fighting a lefty. You gotta take that in. He's fighting a very good lefty at that. And lefties usually give each other, when they fight each other, they give each other problems. So I'm not saying that he wouldn't stop Loma, but I think it would be a harder fight, Lomachenko versus Pacquiao versus Teofimo, because of the style fight. Yeah.
All right, listen, caller. Anything else you want to say before we move on? You're the last caller of the night.
David Haney's overrated.
Oh, wait a minute. Now that's all right. Thank you for calling in, man. Take it easy. Have a good night.
I take.
Yo, BDA, I would go ahead and say yes, move up to 140 because look, he's been lighting them up and knocking them down, and the kid's already undisputed. How many undisputeds do we have right now? And if he's gonna move up to 140 and he can get that one and score the trifecta, man, this guy will move up to the number one position in the pound for pound. The money man.
Well, that's a good question. Where does Teofimo rank right now in the pound for pound?
Right now, let's chop it down the middle. Give him number 5. Sorry, recognize.
No, I agree with you. No, it's okay. Yeah, like, look, I don't know about number 5, but look, it just shows you, right? Like, he beat the number 1 guy who most people thought he was pound for pound the best fighter. And I don't argue with it. I mean, I can see that, but you know, it's hard to do these. You know, he beat Lomachenko. Does he have a better resume than some of the guys that are on top? Can we honestly just say because he beat Lomachenko, that automatically gives him the number 1 spot?
Right. Well, you know what? It's like they say, you know, if you beat a guy that was in the top 3, you definitely get in the pound for pound list. But like Gonzalo said, you got to chop it down the middle, and you can't put him number 1, number 2. He doesn't take over Loma's spot, but he does enter. He's got to kick somebody out of it for sure. Because I mean, come on, it was too high level a win for him not to be in the pound for pound list. But look, when you got guys like Errol Spence, who's got, you know, a win over Kell Brook and over Sean Porter, or when you got Usyk, who wiped out the cruiserweight division, or when you got Canelo, yeah, I know, you know, it is what it is with him, but he's also got a fantastic resume, consistent. So Lopez, I don't know, man. Putting him in there in the top 3 right now, no, but he definitely showed heart, skill, which is more than just the size, and you got to give him credit for that. Now, but that thing is this, man. If he goes to 140, though, I'm not so optimistic about his future, man. Because Josh Taylor, 5'10", Postal, 5'11", Prograis, he's a strong guy with a gas tank. He proved it against Josh Taylor in the finals. Meanwhile,
that's why I say it's not that easy, man. That's why I say it's not that easy. Remember what Lomachenko did, and he proved it. Look how small he was in that ring.
Exactly.
Compared to most of these guys, that's a hard, you know, that's a hard ladder to climb, bro. And it's easy. It's easy for us to sit here and say, you know, oh, if he was an all-time great, he would have pulled it off. I mean, okay, whatever.
Exactly. It's
yes.
You know,
no,
man.
I can't hear you. I cannot hear you.
Who can't you hear?
Yeah, I can't hear you either.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Wait a minute. Are we gonna start this now at fucking 3:10 in the morning, man? Get the fuck out of here, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, we hear you.
The only thing I hear.
Go ahead.
The only thing I hear is the aircon in your background, bro.
The aircon in my background.
We're fucking with you, Pete. He dropped off.
all those shuffling of the papers you're doing.
He dropped off.
Man, let me tell you, man.
Yo, man.
Yeah.
Teofimo's developing still. Like this will do a lot for his skills, his confidence. Like he's just gonna be a better fighter off the back of this fight. So people in the chat calling for a rematch, like forget about it. Teo's just getting better, and Loma's getting worse. So don't, or he's not getting any better at the very least. I'm not saying he's gonna get. Yeah, he's getting. Yeah, Loma's. Yeah, he's on the downslide. I think it's safe to. We'll see.
Here's what I like about. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, Teofimo, you got to give him some time, maybe some like tune-up fights at 140. But man, if he comes out like this determined and this fast and sharp, and look, man, he was maybe like 145. He was light. He came in light for speed, man. He came in light. He comes in like heavy at 140, and he grows his power and maintains his speed. There's gonna be trouble, man.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
It's. By the way, I'm trying to figure out. Okay, yeah. But to your point, yeah, man. Look, this guy. What I like about this fight is that about both these guys is exactly that. Lopez took this fight at 23 years old with only 15 fights. Lomachenko's a guy who, right after losing, jumped in there against Gary Russell Jr. So the future is bright, man. These guys they're gonna want to, take chances in there. now, but if let's get to it. Lopez versus, let's say, a guy like Prograis. Who would you guys pick? Now I gotta figure out how to get Apology Man on here because I don't. I don't know how to
Prograis?
say- Yeah, Prograis versus Lopez.
I'll let somebody else go first. Go ahead.
Right now, I would pick Prograis, but if Lopez goes up there and he deals with some of these lower level guys in impressive fashion, then I might change my mind. But right now, I would take Prograis.
That's a fair statement. But if he could bring up those skill set and he has enough power to make Prograis respected, I could see Teofimo beating him. Yeah, because I think he has a little bit more arsenal than Prograis.
Oh, but you know what? I recognize that that's an interesting fight. And Prograis is also left-handed, but he does a lot. He's a boxer puncher, kind of does the whole sweepy thing, but he also got power. Now against Taylor, I think he gave it away because he was kind of like in between those two styles. Now they compared Lomachenko saying that he did a little too much like he always does, and he didn't stick to one game plan. This is what gave it away. I gotta say, if Teofimo sticks to the counter punching and is successful with that, he might be able to beat Prograis.
Yeah, but it's look, I don't blame anybody for picking Prograis. I think he's not. I'm not saying he's one dimensional, but he's pretty predictable. It all depends on how Teofimo. Look, this is why I say pound for pound, one of the best. I'm a little careful about that because remember, the reason why a lot of people were giving Lomachenko that kind of status is because he was obviously the smaller guy at 135 against every fighter he fought, and not just like by a little bit, pretty much by a lot. What he had was his speed, his movement. That's what was beating these guys.
And like, who is Terence Crawford fighting, for example? Like, I'm not trying to downplay these guys. They're solid. Some of them top 10 guys, but Amir Khan, Kavaliauskas, and now Kell Brook. Like, come on, that's a pound for pound. Like, that's a guy that's in running for pound #1 spot. I don't think so.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. Because a guy like Teofimo Lopez, who comes in here at 23 years old, 15 fights, and jumps in there against one of the top 3 pound for pound fighters in the world. And Terence Crawford used to take risks. I mean, look, he went over to Scotland to fight Ricky Burns. He did fight Beltran and all that. But now, whether it's his fault or not, it's a bad resume. It's, compared to some of his peers. So,
he's bigger than all of them. He's bigger than all these guys too. Maybe
that's
not
true.
Brook,
See, that's what I was going to say.
Brook's going to be drained.
Exactly, man. It's a little weird when a 23-year-old comes in and outshines you. But hopefully this is good because it makes all these other dudes say, you know what? Now I'm looking back here, staying back, playing.
Hey,
it
you
safe.
know what, BDA?
Yeah.
Fuck around and Terence Crawford, he's gonna lose to a mid-level guy for not daring to be great. Like
You know what? I want to say something about that. That's a good point, Gonzalo, because I used to defend Terence Crawford back, 2 years ago, but now the Kavaliauskas fight, it was a lot of him just walking Kavaliauskas down, which is impressive because Kavaliauskas is a strong dude, but he was getting tagged way too clean for my taste. I actually think he's regressing now.
He showed he was bigger and stronger. He used skill, obviously, but the difference in that fight was his physical size and strength. He was able to take dude's shots, and dude couldn't take his. That's really what it came down to. So, if you're bigger than the guy and you're using physical size to make the difference in the fight, that's the opposite of pound for pound.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's the opposite. That's the opposite. But you know what, man? Look, listen. I do think Crawford has skills, but that Kavaliauskas fight, he was getting hit clean, man. And
and
he impressed me in that fight. That was a great fight for him. He impressed me, but he ain't pound for pound. Number one.
He impressed me too, to precise point. But I don't overrate his pound for pound skill. I thought he did good for what he's capable of doing. He had to, basically, he was just a bigger guy. He was just a stronger guy, and he went strength for strength for him, and he's gonna beat a guy like Kavaliauskas because of that. Of course, he has skills. Yeah, there's no doubt. But his skill set is overrated, and also his 3 weight class claim to fame, right? Like he's won in 3 different divisions. Remember when he's at 135, the dude was 160.
Jeez.
He's 160 pounds. Yeah.
And 140 at the time was nothing what it is today, man. That Ndongo win to unify, that wasn't that impressive.
Remember when he did that photo shoot?
Were you impressed in the Posto fight? Was that a pound-for-pound fighter in your opinion? In the
no.
Posto fight? Come on, man. Posto knocked out fucking... Posto wasn't a bad fighter, because he stopped Matisse and shit, but, like, come on, man. That was not impressive.
Yeah, I keep telling people to stop focusing on, because that's the thing that people say with Crawford. Well, he unified 140, Felix Diaz, Ndongo, and who was the other guy? Postal, right? Those are the guys.
So he beat Post. I think he beat Postal. He beat and I know he beat Ndongo for two of the belts. I forgot. I don't have his resume. I know it wasn't that impressive, is what I'm trying to say. Like it wasn't really an impressive. It wasn't as impressive if you're going to compare him to some of the other pound for pound greats. Like I said, when he was 135, he weighed 100. He used to walk around at 160 pounds. It's just that he was young enough to get away with it, and drop the weight. Drop the weight, go to 130 to go to 135. He's 5'8", 5'9". He got a 74-inch arm reach. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
The guy got all the tools to be a welterweight back when he was 25 years old.
We got apology on the line. We got apology man on the line. Yeah.
Yes. Hello. Good evening or morning, I should say, depending on where you are.
It is morning here, man.
Morning on the East Coast of America.
So what's up, apology? What you want to say something about the fight or about what we're talking about?
He called this, by the way. I'm just saying he called it.
Like, what the fuck was that? Because someone explained to me what was that? Like, it just looked like a sparring session. Like, both guys didn't. I mean, Lopez, he was good, but like, he just didn't really want it. And Lomachenko, he didn't really want it even more. It just looked like both guys came in there to spar, and it was like, okay, if one guy just threw more, he will win. But credit to Lopez.
Apology. This is the one thing I'll say, and I'm not making excuses. Go look at Lomachenko when they were showing him in the dressing room, how he was listening to his, like, even before the bell rang, he looked off. Maybe he was intimidated. I don't know, but he didn't look the same. He just didn't.
You know what, apology? You know what? You're right, man. It wasn't that great of a fight, honestly. I gotta admit that, man. It wasn't that great. It was a good win, and it was a good fight in the sense that of the caliber opponent he was facing.
Well, you know what? This was a little bit like. This was a little bit like Klitschko versus fucking Hay, except Hay never really found his balls in that fight. But it was kind of like that. But it had. Look, Loma did what he could. He couldn't do any more than that. I believe he would have got knocked out if he took more chances. And it was a very calculated performance. Lopez just shut him down. That is what it is. And to say it was a sparring session, man, apology. I got nothing but love for you, but Lopez was throwing fucking bricks at this dude, and you don't do that in sparring, man.
Hey, you know what, man? Credit to Lomachenko too, man. Oh, well, go ahead, apology.
Right.
Apology, go ahead.
It just looked to me like, and then maybe I was expecting more from both guys, especially Loma.
Well, you know what, guys?
Like they will hold off the gas a little bit.
Yeah, but you know what, man? Look, they're humans, man. They punches hurt, and I think that's a very apt description from Precise about what was going on. Fucking Loma, Teo was throwing bricks in there, flying bricks, whizzing by his head. Loma felt them, but credit to Loma too. He had a good chin, man. Because in that last round,
he walked straight through him in the 12th round, bro. He came straight forward, ate every single shot that he had to eat to go for it. This was a great fight, bro. Listen, I'm sorry to jump in here, like cut apology off, but man, I got on late and I didn't hear until I got on. I couldn't hear any of the panelists and stuff, the callers. I'm not trying to shit on anybody, but
Right.
Man, between the casualness and the bitching and the fucking Bob Arum's paychecks, man, listen, Loma and Tio, and I'm just talking to you guys because we can't be chasing around all these crazy fucking arguments and all-time great. Look, pound for pound, Lomachenko's still up there. He's a smaller guy stepping up to fight a huge fucking 135-pound kid. Now look, he's 23 years old, but tonight, Lomachenko, he did what he could. He could have had an off night, like Recognize is saying. No excuses. Did he look a little flat when he came out there? I noticed he made it look a little flat. Like a dry. So, but the thing is, he came out, and he did, the first 4 rounds were exactly like we thought we were going to see. I don't understand why he was circling to his right. He was letting Tio throw. He tried to take him into deep water, thinking that this kid was going to have a big weight cut coming down, which he did. He tried to
That's
take
what
him
I'm saying, Pete. It takes two to tango, man. For it to be in a great fight. Wait, hold on. For it to be in a great fight, you need two to tango. And I think the fight was good the last 6 rounds, but the first half was left a lot to be desired, man. Honestly.
You had two in there that were ready to tango, and I tell you what, I'd love to see the rematch. I'm telling you right now, man, Lomachenko, except for putting himself in the position where he had to stop him, when it went past the 6th round of that, basically he took him a little bit. He didn't start this early enough. If he had turned it up in the 5th round, fuck, he almost knocked Teofimo Lopez out, man. His mouth was wide open. He was getting his fucking ass. He was bombing.
Would you call that great? Would you call that great on Lomachenko's part? Maybe it was great on Teofimo's part.
Miscalculation. A miscalculation. Yeah. In other words, if he had started in the 5th round, and he would not have had to walk into every shot in the 12th round. He knew he needed the knockout. He knew he started too late. He knew it. And Teofimo knew he was coming at him like a fucking madman in that 12th round. Props for Teofimo for just standing his ground. He could have clinched. I think he knew he had to fight. He was ahead. But Lomachenko could not. There was no feinting. There was no fucking footwork. He had to come straight on, and he ate every shot. So you want to overrate Teo's power. He didn't drop. He didn't knock out Lomachenko coming in a straight line straight at him.
So my favorite part of the year, my favorite fight of the year was Charlo Debriachenko. And the Cepeda fight, my neighbors got in a fight. They knocked each other 8 times. That was a good fight. The Povetkin is my second one.
That wasn't shit compared to this fight. Yep. That wasn't shit compared to this fight. I want to see it again, man. Teo can move up and Crawford and all that bullshit, but look, Lomachenko's a bad motherfucker, man. And it's not about just pity patting. It's about fucking. Go ahead.
Whether a fight is exciting or not doesn't necessarily dictate whether it was a great fight or not. Like, some people watch some of these fights and they call them exciting, and to me that shit is boring because it's two guys that are like B, C level, and there's nothing pretty about what they're doing. Are they fucking each other up? Yeah. Is it exciting? Yeah. But is it a great fight? Sure, if you want to call it that. You know, different strokes for different folks. I understand what Gonzalo is saying. It was a little disappointing in the early going, but you know, it was what it was. They match up the way they match up, and fights develop the way they develop. Yeah, it's all very much subjective. I thought the fight was boring in the first 6 rounds were boring as fuck, and then the ending was pretty great.
Yeah.
You guys know if there's a rematch or not?
No, I don't think so.
Apparently not, man. Apparently they got it. Plus, you also got to consider the guys. Lopez is gonna move up. He can't make 135. He would probably try to make it if they offered him a ton of money, but I don't think he's gonna wait.
See.
Yeah, I don't.
And last thing I forgot to say. I'm sorry. Last thing I forgot to say.
He's got that girl, Apologino.
About he's all the way in the Philippines, man. Delay, I'm sure. Loma told you exactly what he was going to do. If you pay, I know the translation was a little weird, but he said it's going to go all 12, and he wants to stop him. He said he wanted to stop him earlier, and then he said it's going to go all 12. So I changed my prediction because I knew he was going to go for it in the very, very end. He couldn't just stand in there with that dude and trade for more than a few rounds, period. He had to tire him out and try to trade with him. Like, it was perfectly calculated. This is exactly what he had to do. If he started a few seconds earlier, maybe he would have knocked him out, or maybe he would have got knocked out himself. hindsight's 2020, man. This was as calculated, as good of a performance, given everything that transpired, as he could have done at that time. It was what it was, man. It was what
he
it
gave
was.
his best. I didn't hear your take on the. I didn't get on it while you're giving your take precise, so I missed it. But and I hope I'm not misunderstanding you now, bro. But I thought the fight was interesting, and there's a hell of a lot of chess going on each side, a lot of strategy. And I hear what you're saying. I'm not
exactly.
I'm not
I
saying,
agree. Yeah.
I'm not saying there's a fluke or anything like that. I'm just saying the fight could have gone the other way. A rematch could end up the same way or another. I thought it was a great fight. I tell you something, man. I didn't think that I didn't think it was possible for him to knock Teofimo out. I never thought that he would go for it, or that his hands could take up to it, or that he really would even do that. I honestly, and I didn't think Teofimo was going to outbox him. Teofimo choked up his stance a lot. He didn't have this rear foot at a right angle to his front foot like he's fought in these other fights. He was very, very wary. Now he took as many shots. He won the first half of the fight because Lomachenko was really not throwing anything at all back. But when Lomachenko did turn it up and start establishing foot dominance, Teofimo was hesitant. He was throwing shots, but the shots that were really landing were the ones in the 12th round. When everybody knew, Teofimo and Loma knew he was coming on, like it or not. Someone he had to go for it. So, I
agree.
Can't do anything with either of these fighters, man.
Yeah, the way I look at it is that these guys are top-notch professionals, so experienced. They know their bodies, they know themselves, they know what they can give, what they can take. It's easy for us from the outside to try to discern that. The only thing I'm concerned with is, did Loma try to win the fight? Did Teofimo try to win the fight? Yes. The answer to both of those questions is yes. And to me, that means that they gave everything they had. And that's what it was.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, man. Look, listen. Both guys went in there. They were throwing. We're all talking about Lopez's power, but Lomachenko was catching him with some shots flush on the face. Even his jabs, they were so quick. They were snapping Lopez's head back. And let me tell you, they don't look like much, but I'm pretty certain that Lopez is feeling them right now. So, because we all talked about Loma's power too, which is underrated. And so he was throwing hard in there too. Lopez took him.
Hurt him. He hurt him more. He hurt Teofimo more. Teofimo hurt him longer.
What do you mean longer?
Yeah, it was just a numbers game at that point. At the point where it went past 6 rounds, when it went to the point where he had to have he had to either knock him down or stop him, then pretty much that pretty much changes the game in terms of what's gonna come, and especially when you get to the 12th, and Teofimo knows he's ahead, and Loma knows he's behind. Well, hell, we're not talking about any kind of like.
Precise when you.
Up until then, those body shots were. Loma came with some body shots on Teofimo. He was fucking him up. You know what I'm saying? So.
Precise. When you said I'm sorry. I was gonna ask Precise a quick question.
Go ahead, because I got a delay. Go ahead.
Okay. When you said that Teo hurt him longer, what do you mean by that exactly?
Like, Loma was acute with his power. Like when he applied his power, it was more shocking, had more of an effect. Teofimo's power was stunning, and it had a long-lasting effect. I mean, let's keep it real. He took a lot of body shots early on, and even though he blocked some of them, that his arms were hurting. He was starting. Teofimo did break him down just a little bit to be able to not get knocked out himself in the early going. So he took out a Loma more over an extended period of time, and Loma took more out of him in a very short period of time. You know what I'm saying? He hurt him.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
Did you think that? Precise. You say you changed your prediction. Because I didn't catch that. You went from what to what? From decision.
From 11th to 12th. From 11th to 12th.
For Loma to stop Teo from the 11th to the 12th. I got you.
If you look at that fight, just like I'll give you another example. Just like John Fury told Tyson Fury, right before the first Wilder fight, he said he's gonna knock you out. You're not ready. That's what almost happened. He almost knocked him out. Okay. Yeah, he got up. He got real quick, Gonzalo. He got up, right, and he finished the fight, right. And in the second fight, we know what happened. But if you look at the Lomachenko and Teofimo fight, the fight was playing out sort of the way a lot of us here predicted. The first 6 rounds will be the best shot for Teofimo, and then the second half he would start breaking down. That almost did happen. I think that of course, there's a couple of intangibles that happened in the fight that made the difference, and we're giving Teofimo credit for that.
Because of the size, yeah. Hold on,
Pete.
Hey, Pete, hold on. Because of the size. Is that a super chat, Mr. BDA?
Go ahead, Gonzalo.
Yeah, because of the size, Loma pushed, but Teofimo held on and pushed back in the 12.
Yes.
And I was impressed. Yes, Loma did good body punching there, Pete. But Teofimo also, and whatever he's training in the gym with Joey Gamache and even his father, you remember when we saw that punch that Charlo landed on Rosario? Well, we saw a punch in the build-up in the BDA film analysis where Lomachenko landed a punch like that against Diego Magdaleno, right? A trail to the body, to the solar plexus, straight punching through the target. He landed that shot. He landed one on the balls, but he also that was the one he landed on the balls. Man, credit to Lomachenko. He's a tough motherfucker, man, because Teofimo is punching through the target. Whatever they're showing him in the gym, it's fucking pretty good, man. Because when people say, "Oh, I want to see," he's punching through the target, most people would assume that's a punch that you will want to rip a motherfucker's head off. No, but he's punching through the target, to the body, and not only in the beginning of the fight, in the latter part of the fight, where many would abandon that type of attack.
It's a sign of good power, Gonzalo, and it's going to probably sound ridiculous to some people, but just think about the movement that you have to do. Try doing a backflip and do it with ease. You know where that's coming from, right? That's coming from your legs, the power that you have in your legs and your core of your stomach.
I'm just saying, we're talking about. I agree, man. Both of them did their thing. Neither of them really left anything on the table. We're talking about what's the next fight. Where we're going to go from here.
Athletic fighters are strong.
I like to see it. I like to see it run back, man.
Athletic people.
In other words, strong. The best fight on the table for either one of them is each other. I think. I'll pay to see that shit again.
But I have to.
Maybe it goes the same way, but man, it's a fucking good fight.
Guys that can jump high, fucking do flips and stuff like that. They're fucking strong people, bro.
Yeah.
Strong.
But
tell you what,
the thing is, they both said that one's moving down, one's moving up. I mean, if they could make it at 135 again,
you're right.
Why not? But
I mean, listen, make it at 135 again. I'd love to see it again. I mean,
how many people think Lomachenko would have went down if he would have won this fight? Like, you really think he would have went down?
I mean, let's say he wins. Who's gonna fight next?
I'm telling you, I think this guy would have challenged himself and said, "I'll fight Josh Taylor in England."
Yeah, this fight's never happening again. That's just my thinking.
I agree.
You're probably right. You're probably right. Unfortunately, I'm telling you what we're talking about. The best fight for the next fight for each guy. What we want to see.
Yeah,
I wouldn't write off so fast.
Again.
I heard.
Say again. All right. Yeah, it's probably not happening again.
I heard Teofimo and
Lopez. Both guys.
Go ahead.
Sorry, but I was just gonna say. You go ahead. One statement. Loma showed that he can potentially beat Teofimo.
Yes.
It's not like a Fury Wilder beatdown, right? Where we're like, no rematch. Loma showed that he could win the fight.
Agree.
It would have to be a late knockout again, but
I agree with that. So I fucking lost my train of thought. Go ahead, guys.
You know what,
man? I'm just saying. Do you think that he went? So you think he went into this fight planning to try to stop Teofimo, knock him out instead of win a decision?
It's like, he does that to every fighter. He was trying to knock out Campbell. He was trying to knock out all these guys.
That's true.
Trying to knock out Orlando Salido. Like, in other words, just keep hitting him until this motherfucker falls out. That's his plan.
Pretty much the same thing, Pete. It's the same thing. He wins fight by throwing a lot of punches. So by throwing a lot of punches, you can knock a person out. Excuse me. then the same thing would go for him trying to get the knockout. He's going to throw a lot of punches regardless. You get the decision or you get the knockout because of the pressure.
I love this term Gonzalo said. Gonzalo said this perfect term. There's negative and there's positive fighters. Positive, he means by guys who are aggressive. They box you, but their mission is to break you up. If it means a stoppage, it's a stoppage. And then there's the negative fighter, a guy who's just more on defense and scoring points. He's a negative fighter. That was an excellent term that I honestly I never heard used before, but Gonzalo said it, and I agree.
You know what, man? Real quick, just got to give a shout out to Mike P, who says, if Loma is overrated, what the hell is rated? Exactly. Yeah, listen, we got to brace ourselves for all these people are going to say, well, Loma was overrated. Then now you're going to have people saying, well, Lopez is just, a young guy, but he loses to Devin Haney because we all know a certain demographic loves Devin Haney. But look, Lopez put pressure on these fellas now. Devin Haney and Tank Davis, they can't be fucking around, man. They got to step it up like Lopez, and to a certain degree, Ryan Garcia is doing too. So there's a positive with young
BDA.
Yes.
Do you think the whole scene in the pound for pound rankings is changing as a whole in boxing? Charlos.
Oh yeah. We're in a period. Definitely, man. That's a good point. We're in a period of transition now where some of the old guard has definitely been like Pacquiao's the last of the Mohicans, like Floyd Mayweather used to say. There's nobody really there, unless I'm losing my mind here. But I mean, you got guys like Inoue, who 3, 4, 5 years ago wasn't really on the radar for pound.
And I just got to say this, man. Shout out. It's always going to be the same way. So it's always going to be the real pound for pound fighters taking the real risk, fighting in the real terms of pound for pound, meaning going up in weight, fighting guys bigger than you. And there's always going to be the ones that are weight bullies that said, oh, I moved up 5 pounds. Like, dude, you was always at that weight. You're even bigger than that weight. It's always going to be that way. So it wouldn't surprise me if they have somebody like, 2 years from now or a year from now, like Charlo as number 1 pound for pound fighter.
I don't know. Charlo's good, man. I don't see him at the top of the pyramid.
I don't know. I'm just using him as an example. Like,
I got you.
Bro, is he a pound for pound fighter? Like,
no, but they'll put him on the pound for pound list. He's gonna be on the pound. Like, you want to make bets? They're gonna put him on the pound. It'll happen.
Yeah, well, yeah. I've already heard there's certain people, a minority, and I'm really being literal with the minority part, who are putting Charlo in there. Both Charlos. Top 3 pound for pound, and I'm thinking, all right. I mean, that's enough of that.
But it's also mainstream BDA, ESPN. These people, it's an American agenda. Yeah, it fits certain demographics to keep them interested in boxing. I get all that, but it's just Western bias. That's all it is. It's like, look, do you really think Teofimo would ever fight a guy like Lomachenko in the Ukraine? If the Ukraine was popping?
Yeah, no, that would happen. But you know what, though? If you're saying that there's people that are claiming Charlo to be top 3, I'm going to be like that Australian caller. I'm going to get all upset about it and start, getting into fistfights in the bars. But shout out to Mike P, who says, yo, Lopez won fair, but cards were there way out there. It's told to by top. Bobby wanted to change, but Lopez won judge. Oh, yeah. Because Mike has a trouble with his phone. Sometimes he can't write pretty clearly. But I got the first part of your statement there, Mike. Thank you for your contribution, man. Yeah, look, listen.
Hey, BDA.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. You want to say something? Go ahead.
Yeah, just with the pound for pound thing. A guy like Devin Haney. Again, people, and they're still going to say that Lomachenko, he was avoiding him. What surprised me is Lomachenko, like I said earlier, the same guy that after losing to Salido jumps right in there with fucking Gary Russell Jr. What surprised me is Lomachenko does something crazy like that and takes on a top challenge, like a real dangerous challenge. I'm not saying Devin Haney is, but what I'm saying is maybe he goes straight to Devin Haney and say, okay, you're the next guy that supposedly can beat me. Let's see if you can do it.
Is Haney with Top Rank? Or is he over?
No, he's with the Zone. He's with
There's bigger fights for him down there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree.
But real quick to just follow up on the greatest this or that comments. Look, man, when people talk about Lomachenko as a fighter, are we just gonna forget that he won the amateur world champs twice and the gold medal, 2 Olympic gold medals, and a silver medal at the world champs. I mean, the dude is one of the greatest amateurs of all time. And what we're finding out is that you can't be both one of the greatest in the amateurs because that's going to take a lot of time to do, and one of the greatest in the pros. But if we treat Lomachenko the same way we've always treated American boxers, right? And if they had amateur pedigree and gold medals, that always counted on whether you talk Hall of Fame or whatever. That always counted. Someone like Mark Breland, for example, shitty, like just an average professional boxer, but a good amateur. People speak of him pretty highly today, and
Right.
he wasn't really shit in the pros. So when people talk about Loma being one of the greatest, it's not. It's the fact that he was one of the greatest amateurs of all time who did it in the pros like no one ever had the balls to try to do. And he maybe there'll be some other two-time Olympic gold medals who will beat Loma's record, but he's the first one to do it like that. And if look, any sport, it doesn't matter what it is, if you become the first or the only, or better yet, the first and the only to do something in any sport, that automatically makes you one of the greatest in that sport, period. And Loma has done 3 or 4 different things like that. So let's just put everything in perspective. But, people get drunk, they watch fights, they get excited. They don't have perspective, right? We need perspective.
Absolutely, man.
Also the way he fights, like how many people have fought like that, especially against bigger guys. Usually they'll try to play it safe, but Loma never really did that. Maybe in this fight, but in this last fight,
some of the drunkest callers tonight had the fucking. Oops, sorry, God. I'm sorry, apology, my bad, brother. So some of the drunkest callers tonight had the had the most objective view on the goddamn thing. I couldn't believe it, man. These guys about the. It should have been a paper. Bob Arum's greedy, but it should have been a pay-per-view. And
You cut him. Hey, you cut him off mid-sentence. You cut him off mid-sentence.
He already said it's.
I'm finished. Go ahead, Pete.
My bad, apology. You know that, brother. I'm sorry.
Gonzalo's the Crusader, man.
Yeah, Gonzalo's making the rules here. I'll tell you this, man. The he's not done yet, man. I'll talk about Hall of Fame, and we can argue about all-time great, and when he's done with his career. Precise is right, man. What he's done already is fucking blowing me away. I haven't seen anything like it yet. But I don't. If he gets in the hall, we can figure that out when he's done fighting. Right now, he's still got fights left. So does Teofimo, and shit, I was impressed by what I saw tonight. I know he lost, but I don't think if Charlo's going to move up or someone else is going to move up into the pound for pound, it's not going to be Teofimo. He fought a smaller guy tonight, and it's not going to be. No one's taking. I'm not knocking Lomachenko down off of a pound for pound list or downgrading him because he came up a little short tonight. Shit.
I just hope it doesn't turn into a Jermaine Taylor type career. Because remember, Jermaine Taylor had those 2 razor-thin decisions over Hopkins, who's an all-time great. And so people assume, well, he's young, he's got physical tools, he had a good amateur background, at least for American standards. So people were saying, oh, man, the future's bright. And he went after Winky right away. But then afterwards, he just started going downhill. So hopefully the same thing does not happen to Teofimo Lopez, especially if he's moving up to 140, where the competition is going to be a little bigger, better, harder punchers, and he's going to have to rely more on his boxing skills. What he did to Loma today, I don't know if he's going to be able to get away with it with the taller guys. We already saw what
that's why, that's why, I kind of say, like, let's before we jump him in the top 3 pound for pound, let's see what he does when he goes up in weight. But here's another thing too to keep in mind. Like, Lomachenko came here to make history and, of course, make money. So this is a guy who spent a lot of time as an amateur, right? And said, you know what? I'm gonna give this professional boxing out of my comfort zone to make some money because I have confidence in my skill set to do that. And you can see that he didn't waste no time, dude. The guy fought Orlando Salido. He failed, right? To win a title in his second fight, so he failed. He came back, beat Gary Russell. He beat all these other guys, and he tried to go for undisputed at a weight class that was higher than his, right? Much higher than what he usually fights in, and he fell a little short. Like I knew that Lomachenko was going to lose a fight again because this is a guy who challenged himself. Whether it was this fight, because I believe if he would have won, I think he would have went up to 140 and say, let me see what I could do there. He would have probably, fell short. Maybe one of those guys take him out. But he would have did it because he came here to make a statement, a mark. And that's something that I respect. He's an ambush fighter. He's trying to knock you out. And in doing so, you're going to give up something. And especially when you're fighting bigger guys, there's always that risk that they chin check you and that's it. It's over. The fight's over.
Mm-hmm. And, I think it was you, Recognize, who made the point a couple of hours ago when you said, well, listen, with Loma, he's a hater. He's the favorite for the haters because he's going to give them their chance. He's going to be taking on everybody. He's not going to be pussyfooting around the issue. And at the end of the day also, man, look, the guy, like you said, the guy lost his second professional fight. So he already knows what losing is like.
That's what I'm saying, VDA.
It's like, I'm pretty sure
obvious?
It sucks for him. I'm pretty sure he's not liking it. But,
these haters,
bro,
not appreciating.
If that was,
go ahead.
No, if that was Floyd Mayweather in that fight against Salido, it would have been 116, 112 all across the board.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I think it would have been something like that. And again, Loma is always dangerous late in the fight.
You would have been disqualified. Salido would have been disqualified if you did that to fucking Floyd.
Hey, but you know what, man? With Lopez, man, I would like to see him take on Burchelt because I think Burchelt is moving up to 135. And look, maybe Lopez chops him up coming in, but Burchelt, he's got that crazy type of mentality in there where he doesn't really have that great a technique. His chin is up in the air. He's liable to get hit with overhand rights, but he just keeps he's like the train that could. He just keeps coming and coming and coming. So that would be an interesting one. But like we said before, Lopez is probably going to move up to 140. But
he's just strong, BDA. He's like those Mexican workers outside Home Depot that carry the buckets of cement.
Yeah,
we got those in Ecuador too.
They're all over the place,
and we don't even have a Home Depot.
No Home Depot in Ecuador.
They call it Casa Depot. Yeah.
Macuarros.
Yeah, I mean, listen. I just think people over-exaggerate, man. Look at Deontay Wilder. Now he's talking about retiring. This is a hard sport, man, and I'm not shitting on Deontay Wilder. I'm not. This guy he's not a boxer. He's just a strong kid that they matched him up well. And he went in there and he took an ass beating. And I think he's done. Personally, I think he's done. I might be wrong, but
you heard what they're trying to do with Deontay? Recognize?
No.
Did you hear the latest news?
I know.
Mean, I'm gonna exaggerate when I say this. You could take it away. Let me just tell you this. I'm gonna exaggerate, but it seems like maybe they're trying to create a whole division for Deontay Wilder to dominate. Between cruiser and heavy.
No, I heard this.
Kind of starting to look like.
In between cruiser and heavy.
I heard this. Yeah, I heard about this. Okay, whether it's for Deontay Wilder, I get what Precise is saying, but there is this new division that they're trying to create between cruiserweight and heavyweight. That's true. I think the WBC. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember this, but in the '90s, certain belts you would have to fight at 190, and certain other belts you could fight at 200. This was in the '90s, cruiserweight. I think it was the WBC.
Think about it, bro. Like Deontay Wilder could knock most motherfuckers out that ain't that good, right? And then imagine he's fighting everybody that's his size or smaller. And I'm talking about weight. And it's a new division. There's no glamour to it or nothing. Like, people don't really accept it. They're bitching about it. So it's not going to be good competition in the beginning. Deontay Wilder could find a nice little safe space and knock out bums for a couple of years and then get to, call himself one of the greatest kind of heavyweights of all time.
He could make a Deontay weight like Canelo did. He can go to 201. He can go down to 201 and just dominate 201.
That's insane, man.
That's what it's looking.
I can't remember the last time a guy.
Looking like to me, man.
I can't remember the last time a guy lost and his career has been handled the way Wilder's is, with so much, he loses, then he's gonna come back, then he wants the rubber match, then he doesn't, then they're waiting on the contract, then his manager comes down and says, no, it's on. I mean, what the fuck is going on with this? Maybe he took the loss too hard, man.
This is what I'm trying to say, BDA. Like, I bring up Deontay Wilder not to like totally just shit on him. This is a sport that, it takes a lot of your emotions out of you. So you have to be a constant professional, So let's give a little fucking credit. Like, okay, yeah, it just happened. Lomachenko lost. I've seen him lose before and come back. He cried after the Orlando Salido fight. Remember, that guy cried.
Cried tonight.
Oh, maybe he will. But
I'm just saying he was upset after the. I mean, he was like, I don't know if you caught that, but yeah, he was upset. Man.
I think Lomachenko was a little bit crying if you look at that Orlando Salido fight after the decision was made.
Somebody said he was crying on this one.
Listen, yeah, but go ahead, recognize. Yeah,
no, I was just going to say that this is, dude. When you're Lomachenko, in his mind, he trains 100% for victory. Okay, and for him to come up short, it's a letdown to him. So it's a lot of emotions that go into Yeah, and when I'm trying to go ahead.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Look, well, I was gonna say, look, at 26 and 30, because of politics, he couldn't get that fourth belt. So this was the one that he tried to achieve, that undisputed thing, the pinnacle of his career, right? Go ahead, recognize, continue.
No, and you're exactly right, Gonzalo, because what he put, and I agree with Precise. He gave it his all, and he fell short. You could say he miscalculated. I'm not going to argue too much. I think you're right. He did miscalculate just a little bit, but a lot of that had to do with Tio. But anyway,
definitely.
My point is that you're seeing what's happening with a worse loss for Deontay Wilder. I mean, he got destroyed, right, against Tyson Fury. He did that. That happened in front of all his fans. Then he's got to hear. Then you got to hear from fans like myself. Yes, that I teased his fans and made fun of them. That takes a lot out of you, bro. That does, man. You got to be a strong man upstairs. And that's why I say, look, man, Lomachenko lost this fight. I will not be surprised if he goes on to do better things. Yes, he's getting older. Yes, he's getting older. And I do agree with that. But he can be that much smarter next time around, whether he fights Tio or not.
I mean, I can't even mention the mental stability wise and how they're going to go on from this, whether they're going to learn and go forward or fuck around and make excuses and go ape shit and retire and then not retire. They're not even in the same sentence. Lomachenko's mental stability is rock solid, bro. He's going to take this. He's going to take his loss. He's going to move forward. That's why I keep saying this. He's not done. And he came up short. I'm not taking it. I don't hope I'm not sounding like I'm taking anything, like I'm making an excuse or anything about how miscalculated or whatever. He lost straight up. When those scorecards got read out so wide like that, if they had called Lomachenko, some of those callers are talking about Lomachenko washed him and all this, that'd be an outrage, man. Teofimo won the fight tonight. He won that fight, and Lomachenko lost it. But he's going to move forward from this. He's going to use it as a stepping stone and not a stumbling block. He's going to get up and go forward.
Absolutely,
that's what
I wouldn't be surprised.
Like I said, if he got rolled over, I know it. I mean, we've already seen this. Salido, he's taken setbacks before. You talk about when Precise was saying about how he got, it's not like he got ran over like Fury just fucking ran over Wilder. He got nothing to be ashamed of tonight. He came up a little bit short.
Yeah,
but again, I'm looking forward to seeing both of them fight again.
Well, listen, man. Lopez did what he had to do in there, man. He pulled it out. He's a bright star now. He has to keep that momentum up. He's got a lot of weapons, hand speed, power. Although again, that power 140, will it go up with him? Will he be able to carry with him up there? We will see. Fellas, I think we should wrap it up, man. We've been on for 3 hours. It's 4 a.m. over here. Pretty sure it's late where most of you are, except for Gonzalo. And apology is probably just in the. It's getting bright and early over there, right?
It's 9 a.m.
Oh, I gotta get my beauty sleep. I gotta fucking go to the urologist.
That's a lot of sleep, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you say the beauty sleep, you're gonna need a lot of that.
Hey, now wait a minute. I'm not gonna allow you to get away with that one. I got the new pump coming in. That's why, though. So I gotta go to the urologist. We're gonna get that fitted there, and I'm gonna be a bigger man next time I'm here. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. What face cream do you use?
Hey.
Yo, recognize.
I got fucking
I'm being serious.
Pause. Got the KO, man.
Go ahead and kill me, you cocksucker!
I was being serious.
I'm sorry, Gonzalo. What you said?
Berlanga got the KO, man. 15 KO streak now.
Hey, listen to me. I wanted to, like, I know guys want to get off this. I was paying attention to that.
Get the fuck out of here.
The Puerto Rican Munguia. Here we go.
I was thinking.
Go ahead about the Puerto Rican Munguia. Go ahead.
I'm looking at Berlanga. He's 23, right? Now, I like him. He punches hard. But I think this is not going to help him, bro. He's not going to on the first round. Like,
go some rounds, man. Go some fucking rounds.
I even heard something, nothing confirmed, but like that he wanted to fight, he was willing to fight Canelo. And Canelo, somebody said that Canelo said, nah, nobody knows him. And his punching power is unnatural. So I'm not taking that risk with a guy that's unknown and punches as hard as he does. You know, look, it's all good. It's all good. But he's getting knockouts in the first round. And I have a feeling because he's young, he can drop weight. This guy is like a fucking close to a heavyweight. He's like, if you look at him, he's just as big of a man than Usyk is, I think. Remember, he's 23. Yeah. I'm talking about when he fills out, when he turns into a man. So, you know, I don't overexaggerate.
Dude, he touches these guys and they're like, we're done here. This is not even a fair fight.
Absolutely.
Look, man, put him in the ring with Munguia and call it the Battle of the Uglies, man. And that's
Frankenstein versus Godzilla. Frankenstein. A Halloween showdown. A Halloween showdown of the zombies. They come ahead zombies. These commentators are like, I like that he didn't rush it. I like that he didn't. He set up. They showed that replay. That motherfucker came out and threw full speed power.
That dude is just as big as Prima Carnera and even fucking uglier, man.
Yeah, and you know what? and for a tough Puerto Rican dude, as a puncher, he was dressed like Miguel Cotto. No, he wasn't like. He was dressed like my cousin. Yeah, he was in Berlanga. He was like my cousin Carlangas in his game. All in
I'll tell you what he did. He came out with all pink. The pink was everywhere. Listen to recognize. Look at him. Just look at him. Look at him. All right. Calm down, man.
Yeah, he's a weird look.
He looks like one of those Goonies characters.
So, man, hopefully the kid goes far, but man, it's just we gotta wait and see. Basically, that's all.
They're gonna ride out this first round knockout streak. They're gonna ride out this first round knockout streak to the end, bro.
Dude, he hits these dudes, and Precise, I think, said this. They're like, "Fuck this! I'm not gonna deal with this nonsense."
Why does his eyes look?
Yeah, look at the size of his neck in this picture, man.
That kid's got retarded strength, man. In Puerto Rico, we call it retarded strength.
One looks slightly off, and they don't look even.
I'm looking at his forehead. He's got like that. He's got those caveman characteristics. Like he definitely has some fucking Neanderthal or something in his DNA. I don't know, man. I don't know if Puerto Ricans can have that, but I mean, I guess with the mixed blood, right? Like maybe some European. I mean, I don't know. He looks
Well, he got the very ugly side of his Europe, whatever mix he is.
He looks like the type of guy that 600 years ago he would be. You'd lock him up in the whirlwind. I mean, not the whirlwind, in the fucking mill, and he would just churn that up like Solomon. I mean, not Solomon.
I'll tell you right now, bro. I'll tell you right now.
I don't even know what I'm saying.
That's the kind of guy you don't get into a street fight with. He'll break your fucking your whole face.
So me, I bet he kind of looks like Recognize, man.
Nah, I'm way better looking. Whoa. Time out.
Be fucking nice. He's about your size, right? He's about your size. Fucking nice.
I'm 6'9".
And look, man. I don't give a damn, man. Just talking about the man's looks, like it's whatever, man. I'm ugly too. It's no big deal. But unless he sharpens up his defense, man, it's all downhill.
Yeah, bro. He gets hit like with going because he goes full force with every shot, bro. It's every fucking shot. I want to know what happens when you take him out of the first round. That's what I want to know.
See, dudes like that knock out everybody in the first round end up getting knocked out in the second.
Yeah, man.
That's what they said after the fight. He's never been to the stool. He's never been to the stool after the first round. I'm like, that's not a good thing, bro.
Yeah, exactly. No,
hey, you know what's a trip? You know
he's
what's
a street fighter. That kid is. I'm interested to find out what his amateur career is like because I get the feeling they saw this kid fight in the streets and just said, "Oh man, like he killed somebody in the streets."
He's 1-0. Yeah, he's 1-0. He's 1-0 in the amateurs. He killed somebody, and they're like, "No, you go to the pros."
Hey, you know what's a trip? Hey, you know what's a trip? He trains with Andrea Rozier, who trains at Lomachenko. I bet they're gonna go trick or treating on Halloween.
Nice.
Bro. Now that explains the black eyes before the fight, man. That explains Derevinchenko's raccoon eyes before the fight.
Yeah, he was sparring with the guy, man.
Berlanga was hitting him with his langa.
Man, let me tell you something. You guys, man. You guys
got is his new nickname. Rabanga.
Rabanga.
Munguia, Berlanga, and Derevinchenko kicking back in Halloween.
Man, you guys are fucking mean, man. I don't know what what happens with you guys as it gets late in the night.
Hey,
but
man,
you guys get meaner and meaner.
Shout out to Berlanga, man. He's one of my people.
And by the way, I don't know if you
I'll
guys
ride
can...
with him until somebody exposes him.
There you go. Stick with the Puerto Rican. I'm losing my train of thought here. I can't even form a coherent sentence anymore. I'm falling asleep. Guys, thank you for being on, man. Really appreciate it, man. Want to give a shout out to Pete. Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And shout out to D, too.
Right, good night, everybody. Yeah.
Good night, man. Peace.
Yeah, good night, guys.
Later.
Take it easy, guys. I want to give a shout out to Pete, Recognize the Matrix, Precise, Jimmy, Gonzalo, Apology Man, D, who was here as well. Everybody that donated with the super chat. Everybody that called in. Sorry I couldn't get to as many calls as I want. I saw some people dropped off, but hey, I tried to power my way through them. Did the best I could. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I want to give a shout out to Luke Peterson, Virtuoso, Rod Nell, LDBC Hitman, Keith Morton, Ringside Charlie, Mr. E, Chris K, Mike P again. Shout out to you guys. Really appreciate your contributions. You guys make this show go around, and it pays for the Blog Talk Radio and the Spreaker because it ain't free. Let me tell you that much right now. And that's about it. Yes.
I'm a little tipsy. I'm gonna tell you how I really feel about you. You're a good guy.
Go get your Rabanga poster, man. Go get your Rabanga poster and do some sit-ups, bro. Hey, thanks for having me.
I'm not too sure about Pete, man. He's a scary looking dude, man. I have a feeling. I know what he does for a living. Let's just put it that way.
Pete looks like everybody says it. Pete looks like a mix between Sean Penn and his brother Chris Penn. Like there's a mix between the two there. You don't know quite. You're like the woman from Seinfeld. When you're in the dark, you look different, and when you're in the light, you look completely different. So that's the way you're a shapeshifter, man.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put a cop uniform on and put some aviators on and beat the shit out of Gonzalo, like in Colors. Remember Colors?
Yeah, I remember that
one. Let's do it.
I'll have to play the role of Robert Duvall in there. Break it up, man. All right, listen. Thank you, fellas, for joining us. Really appreciate it, man. Catch you in the next one. Everybody in the chat room, you guys know who you are. I got to go because I'm really fucking tired. So I'm not going to read I'm going to read the chat as we go get out of here. So shout out to everybody. Thank you for joining us. Frost, Wesley Mitchell, Virtuoso, Scripting College, Bad Today, Gangsters, B-Space, Marcy's, L2 Axis, Mindtaker, Mateus Lise, everybody, man. Guys, thank you so much. Fight Scout, Mr. KO, everybody that was here, man. Catch you on the next one, fellas, and take it easy. Have a good night.
Peace, BDA.
Take it easy, man.